Interesting.
Well, hello, everybody. We are episode 290, and yes, it is Black Friday today. Hopefully people were out hunting for deals, but not I. Ralph, you almost look like you almost have a purple shirt on. Almost. It looks kind of almost purple.
Well, it's sort of purplish blue, I guess.
So
yeah. Someday I will earn one of those other purple shirts, I'm sure.
No, it's funny is I keep looking at it's Royura. I don't know how to pronounce it. Royuara. I mean, it's a shirt. I think it's based out of China. I think they still have these out there. I just in the purple. It's just I kind of keep looking. I probably need to see get people's sizes, and then I just kind of whatever. But I was gonna do like Kevin does, like the T-shirt stuff, the T-Public. I was gonna kind of do some of that stuff too, maybe just for just straight up some of the images we've got using some of Kevin's stuff with some of our faces and whatnot, and kind of play with that too. I haven't finalized that yet. At some point, I'll probably do that. So Stuart is here, Mark is here, Troy is here. So yeah, so Jesse is doing in-person D&D this week. Larry is out door dashing, so he'll be in at some point. But other than that, yeah, I'll probably show off some stuff I got and then maybe do a little sorting. What are you working on tonight, Kevin?
Just sorting.
And Ralph, what are you working on tonight?
Well, I have some new. What the heck? Where'd my camera go? There it is. I have some street lamps I'm going to install behind me back in the city. They are now wired. Probably can't see the wire, but. And then I have, I don't know where it went. I have a box of Chima characters that I just purchased that came in today, and I have no idea where the box is. So they're going to get sorted and get stored away as well.
Hey, if you've got the box in your house, that's better than mine. My box that I talked about last Friday is still missing in action at the post office, saying it was delivered, but nothing ever came of it. They are still looking for it. I mean, good thing it's not like laden with gold bars or anything. I'd be probably a little bit more petrified and crazy, but
most people don't send gold bars through the mail.
Yeah, so I just found the box. So
I said most people read.
Yeah, I'd probably send the Lego gold bars definitely through the mail. Hey, they were gold bars. I wouldn't know the difference. But yeah, we did the buy sell trade that last Saturday. It was okay. I sold a few things, bought a few things. Actually, somebody was doing like the build a minifigure, and they had like the chrome trumpet in their accessories. So I built 3 figs so I could get more trumpets for the band still. And then at the end of the show, while we were just standing around, I bought some animals through one of the vendors. Finally got a baby elephant, and golden retriever, some baby animals, and then of course my Lego pick-a-brick order finally came. The one that was the older one with the baby seals, the baby polar bears, the trans blue cats, the instrument, and then it's got the 1x2 white plate with post and clear. I'm sorry, clear, trans clear. The 1x2 plate with it's trying to fly away. I mean post with the upward post. So
Fly away.
always need like more trans clear unique parts when I'm working on the castle for holding of weapons or whatnot. But the baby polar bears will be used for something. I was planning. I got to build those to use them. So I'm going to be drinking the new Mystic Punch, purple cans, and the Mountain Dew. So I'm drinking that tonight. As I joked with one of the Mountain Dew merchandisers, unofficial sponsor. That and whatever beer everybody's drinking. So other than that, that's about it. I didn't really buy anything. They had that stuff last weekend, Insiders Weekend. Didn't buy anything. Just didn't. I'd love to have some of those GWPs. They just don't have the influx of capital right now.
Hey Troy, how's it going?
And I see Jesse already posted the episode information from this week, it looks like.
DJ Tang.
Anybody needs some stud toilet paper? Your mini freaks need toilet paper?
What's that from?
Probably Eclipse Graphics or one of those companies out there. That this is part of that. This is part of the igloo that has shattered. So this was the one that had like the he was stockpiling the toilet paper and all that. So. Yeah. Oh, that would be nice. Put stuff in there. And for anybody who doesn't know, Creations for Charity is doing their 24-hour live stream. I've been watching a little bit of it. Leftovers. We brought some leftovers for my sisters. Watched lots of football, basketball yesterday.
Well, this stinks.
Wouldn't be stinking up the place. What'd you order, Ralph? What kind of tuna fish? More Crocs to go with the Army?
Yeah, there's some Crocs and a couple of ice bears.
Ooh.
Some Crocs.
How many Crocs?
10 Crocs. No, wait a minute. 12 Crocs. And then 2 gorillas and a couple of ice bears.
Cool. It was nice.
So, I sent you earlier this week a link to that guy's eBay store because I actually did pretty well.
He didn't have much of what I was looking for. But.
Yeah, well, his prices were good because I was able to get the 14 figures for an average with tax and shipping for $2.80 altogether.
Good.
Yeah. Speaking of deals, Reed, did you get anything from that one vendor last weekend?
Which, the one that they said was like selling stuff at the end super cheap. No.
Yeah.
No, I did not.
A solo Lando for $5. Picked up a brand new ATT for $75. They had a Cad Bane's ship with all the figures new for $75. It was phenomenal deals.
No, but I almost got scammed at the end though. So
By whom?
we had a person that was waiting, was milling around a lot, and towards the end, had their kid there, and they were kind of using their kid, pull heartstrings, and was trying to actually, like trade a set. And I mean,
Was it
at first,
top?
no, this was somebody. This was a customer. I don't say male or female, but it was a customer, and they had like a friend's, like one of the biggest, like a city set or something. It had like 1,100 parts, or what I should say should have had 1,100 parts, and had said, and it's there's a container in there, blah 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 blah, because it had like a bulge in it, and originally she was looking at like the big, like my big sealed Arctic set, Arctic base set, and I'm like, and I'm looking, I'm thinking, okay, it's 1,100 parts, whatever. And then I don't know. She asked what I asked what her son liked. She's like Star Wars, whatever. He's looking at a couple of the battle packs or whatever. But then I pick up the box, and I'm like, well, the minute I pick up the box, I'm like, there's something wrong. This doesn't feel like 1,000 parts. It barely felt like there was practically almost anything in the box. I mean, so in the end, I was like, yeah. And then it just basically sounded like I wasn't interested at the end. I'm like, I'm not interested. And of course, I turned to chop after the person walks away. I'm like, gosh, I hope the person doesn't try and get someone in the hallway. Because this is while we're packing up. Everybody's packing up, trying to get out of here. I'm like, this is not the time to be doing this. Did get someone in the hallway, but the person in the hallway was smart enough to actually open the box and must have had the instructions in there and saw the instructions. And I think what he told me was like, yep, there were supposed to be black, white, and gray parts in there, and none of those parts were in there, and there were no figs in there. And it was like, wow, okay. So yeah, the person did not obviously trade that, but obviously, hopefully, we all made a mental image for the next buy sell trade, so that.
You think they were doing that deliberately?
To me, I would say probably almost yes, because they made it sound like, they made it sound like it was all there. I think when the person first said it, and they were saying like, hey, well, now the person mentioned cash, and I don't know if she was mentioning cash with whatever she got to her, or if they were saying cash to us, to me, and I'm like, and I didn't. It was like whatever, and so it was one of those things where I just maybe I would think possibly that it was deliberate. It's hard to say that because you just don't want to say that, but to have that much stuff missing out of it, either that person had gotten it somewhere, and then maybe was just maybe trying to make up for what maybe if they had gotten. I don't know, but to me it was just like, wow, that's just a lot of stuff that was just kind of weird, and I'm just like, wow, okay. But yeah, I mean, that's the stuff that you just always have to look out for. I mean, that was kind of like when I was buying some of the sale dimension sets too. I think I bought one time that had been opened and built. I can't remember if the figs were still in it or not, but I took it back to the Target and returned it and said, yeah, this sucker's already built in here and everything. Can't remember if it was one of the ones with the Supergirl and this was missing that or not, but yeah, it's kind of things where it's just the buy sell. I mean, and it was all taped up. So the minute I kind of picked it up, I'm like, okay, wow. And then I kind of was looking at the tapes, and she's like, and I guess it was a woman, and she's just like, well, you can open it or whatever. And I was just like, well, at that point, I was just trying to get away from it because I am so happy I didn't do it with like the Arctic sealed set, which definitely had a price of $135, because I probably would have ended up with like something that wasn't even close to that value. So, but I don't know. People just sometimes maybe, and I would say the timing makes it seem deliberate. I mean, at
Yeah.
the very end of the show, before packing up, this should have been done well before the time the show was ending. So to me, that says deliberate, and that they knew
It
what
just
they.
sounds very suspicious that, I mean, if I have a set that's missing parts, I'm going to tell you during the, before the transaction really gets started that, hey, this is not complete.
Yeah, and that never came across as like it was missing, parts. I mean, it was something where it just seemed like because I mean, when I'm pulling sets that are about the same value off the shelf and they're not saying, oh, well, this is missing parts, I'm kind of going, yeah, that's not on the up and up. Because because it wasn't until the other vendor actually opened it up that realized there was a lot of stuff missing. I mean, because I didn't open it, I left it sealed. I was like, I was just trying to avoid at that point getting out of it. All those years at Lego, basically, that's what taught me about this stuff. Because people would do that; they bring back the box open, you'd be missing all kinds of stuff. You say, yeah, without the figs and stuff, I can't even take this back because this isn't a complete set. It has to be a complete set. And so, yeah, it was just weird. It just kind of one of those things that kind of leaves kind of those stale flavors in your mouth. After that, you're kind of like, wow, okay. But
it just sounds very strange to me.
Well, and the person's got their kid, and the kid's pointing at all kinds of stuff and everything else, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm like, I didn't have much of the personal one anyways because the kid really liked Star Wars, and I had like a couple battle packs. That was it. Well, I had a couple I had a snow speeder and a couple things that were worth a lot of money for a very small set too, and that really wouldn't have been a good trade even if it was complete for that person because the kid wouldn't get much to play with. But yeah, it's just one of those things you just gotta be careful. Just, stuff that are, stuff like that. And that's why, I mean, when people ask me, are my sets sealed and stuff, when I'm selling seals, I say, hey, they are factory sealed. I haven't touched them. They are as they were from when I bought them off the store shelf, whatever, how many years ago that was. I mean, people might have a hard time believing that, but I mean, once I say, hey, I worked for Lego for 7 years. I mean, when you get a discount stuff, you're buying faster, you can build. It's just you end up with a lot of stuff. Or better yet, you buy faster, you can build, hoping you're always going to build it in the long run, but you never get to it. Like I bought tons of city sets, but with John not coming back to the hobby, I'm sitting on all these city sets that in my book right now are absolutely worthless to me because I'm doing castle. I'm not doing city.
Right.
Which is kind of sad because I have a lot of city sets. So I might have to build a city at some point. But I mean, I even have a lot that are open. So I mean, I have a lot of built sets, trucks and cars.
Well, I got a lot of them built, and quite a number of them are slowly coming back out of their packing crates and getting set up.
That or I'll have to team up with you at a show sometime when you bring a city and be like, hey, yeah, I can bring a bunch of planes and I got a bunch of cars and trucks and trains and I got all kinds of stuff. I mean, that's definitely not a shortage of that. It's just you just don't use it like probably would have used to use it. So, but yeah, kind of. So we'll see what tonight brings. Yes. I jumped on the Brick World, or I listened to the Brick World show on Sunday night last week, and I did. Mark was on the show, so I mean, of course, my trolling with Mark on the show was a little bit more entertaining. And Mark's like, "Oh yeah, I had heard about that." I'm like, "Oh, okay, so that's good." So some of your helpers are not, just trolling without the boss actually knowing, because it was just like, yeah, he's like, it's kind of already been kind of legendary already that I've already heard about all that. So it was kind of funny. I had to laugh. It was just like, oh, that's good to know. But yeah, it was fun. I mean, they were talking about all kinds of stuff. The problem is once I actually call, I gave myself a note the other day. I forgot to do. I got to call the Renaissance because the Renaissance supposedly doesn't have any Wednesday nights. They have the Thursday through Monday, which would be what I would get, but they don't have any Wednesday nights. I don't know if they've got an event or something beforehand. I got to figure out if it's something where I got to just get another room somewhere else for Wednesday night or what, or sleep in my car. Do that too. Sleep in my van. Actually, I
Well,
won't.
we can do that right.
Actually, I guess it would depend if I unload all my Lego first. If I unload all my Lego on Wednesday, yeah, then I can sleep in the van. I can just throw the blankets on the floor. Make sure I have a couple pillows with me.
Well, you could always put a trailer hitch on the van, tow your Legos around behind you, or get a little camping trailer and tow that behind you.
No, I basically, if I only had to sleep in the van, well, because basically, if I go down on a Wednesday, I'm going to shower in the morning and everything. So it's in the end, it's just, you know, I just stink a little bit Thursday morning until I get into the room and take a shower. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, we still got to figure it out. I mean, I think it might be the same roommates as last year. I can figure that out. See, it's funny because I was looking at some of the ones or some of the places around, and they had the Embassy Suites had like a corporate like suite. And I was like, wow, it's got a like a meeting table. I was like, crap, we could just push the chairs into the table, under the table, and then just put tons of sleeping bags. We could just have a castle party over in the one room. So I don't know, but we'll see. I still got to figure out what's going on and everything else. I'm still planning, still building. I'm doing some of that this last week. I haven't done a lot of it since then.
Yeah, I haven't figured out what I'm going to do for accommodations when I'm there. Got two plans. One of which is I'm going to take the RV to Brick World.
Yep, that would work.
The other possibility is get a room.
Yep.
Just sort of works at it. It's going to depend on expenses, actually, what the total cost is going to be for this project.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say they both work. I mean, we do have some of the, some of the other people from Denver. I know they had rented the camper the 1 year, did that, and so they had that. I mean, I know at one point Richard and Ashley had brought theirs at one point. I mean, I know people have done it. Those park out in the semi truck parking type area or whatever. So.
Well, that's basically what I could have done in Nebraska is park out back.
Yep. Yep.
So
kind of how it works a little bit, I think. So.
Yeah, I gotta have to look into all of that because if I can park out back, that means the RV is sitting there for free, I would think.
Yeah.
And that would work out very nicely.
Oh, shoot. I put the other toilet paper in there. So yeah, so we'll see. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I'm still building. I just gotta I talked to Chop a little bit this last weekend because I picked him up on the way to the buy-sell trade. He was up there hanging out with me a little bit, helping out a little bit. Thankfully, he was helping tear down when that lady walked by, so it was like I was able to deal with her while he was kind of organizing taking all my stuff down and stuff. So, but. Yeah, I usually do roommates. I mean, it's always been a good thing, for me. I usually do. A couple of years, it was like with like Joe Mino. I think I did Tommy Armstrong and Matthew K 1 year. Kevin Hinkle was a roommate 1 year. So it's one of those things where, yeah, it's all about just. Never had more than probably 3 people in a room though. So, but usually I would. Next year I got slept on the couch this last year, but I need to get a little bit more prepared this next year. I don't think I've got enough stuff to make it work as comfortably as I've done in previous years. So that's the kicker. Always making sure it's comfortable. So.
Well, you don't want to sleep on a couch for that many nights.
Well, no. You don't understand. It's like the couch is probably.
I mean, heck, I know I can.
4.5 feet long, maybe 5 feet long. So basically, what I would do is, I think in the past I've put like sleeping bags. I might even had some foam or something, memory foam or something. But I'll put that on. the couch, and in previous years they didn't have it this year, so they might have pulled it out. In previous years there was like an end table, so I'd basically put like maybe my feet on the end table or my head on the end table, throw a couple pillows on that. So in the end, it still was 6 feet. And it's a couch, and the couch is comfy. I mean, it's just I just put the blankets and stuff on there just to add a little bit more cushion. But I mean, when I'm done in the ballroom and all that stuff, and we're done down there, I mean, you're going back to the room and you're going to bed. You're not sleeping. I mean, you're not watching movies. You're not whatever. You're going back and you're out. I mean, most of the years I go back to the room, I'm out within like a matter of minutes. I put on whatever I'm sleeping in, and I'm out. I'm gone. I mean, that's kind of the goal. I mean, and like I said, once we get closer to the weekend, there's people who will spend a lot of time in the hall, and then on the weekends, like in the public hours, some of them actually do just sleep, because there are some people that aren't good with crowds or whatever, and so that's their time to kind of, I mean, they'll have somebody else kind of watch their MOCs or whatever.
Yeah, with my bad back, there's no way there's going to be a couch in my future.
No, I mean, no. Basically, it's one of those things where if you do something like that, you just, I mean, well, and to me, I do the couch because I do the couch. But I mean, usually there's 2 beds, 2 doubles, and a couch. And so for me, it's like whoever I'm rooming with, 2 people, person each gets the bed. I mean, and then I just sleep on the couch. I mean, now for my guys for bowling wise, they were like, you want to be on the bed. I mean, I think that one didn't have a couch. It was on the floor. Wasn't super comfy. I don't think I bought enough stuff to actually make that work. Whereas in previous years, like when I always used to drive, I always made sure my van was stocked with enough stuff to where sleeping on the floor with nothing, I'd always have a bunch of blankets. And I think I bought travel pillows last year for one of the things. I just didn't buy enough. I think I bought a couple before. Maybe I bought a couple before Chicago or something. Maybe it was before Omaha. Bought a couple travel pillows, whatever, and I just didn't have enough of those when I slept. Because I slept, I think, in the car when I got like an hour, half an hour away. That's because I remember I hit every Walmart across Iowa. Didn't see anything, but it took that much longer to get across. And so that's going to be the dilemma this year is we're going to Vegas for bowling. There's Chicago, and then there's whatever else I want to do, Nebraska or Salt Lake, or whatever I try to do. I got to figure that out, figure how it would work and how much travel time I need and all that. That's kind of that's always the tough one with the longer conventions and stuff. So, and the longer.
Still have to figure out what I'm going to be doing in regards to Nebraska because I still don't know what the state testing schedule is going to be.
Yeah, that or it's one of those things you take a year off and you come back the year after. I mean, in the end, that's kind of the thing. Is that to me, it's like that's what I need to figure out is what's going to work for me. And that's kind of there's so many shows out there that I could pick or choose. Maybe go to Virginia for a change. I mean, I know I have some of my one of the guys I bowl with that's in Colorado. His parents live in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. So I mean, there'd be people that would come from definitely from somewhat close to the Virginia show. So I don't. Yeah, it's like you said. There's so many shows. I mean, Virginia's the last of the big 3 I need to hit, and so I want to hit it at some point. I'd like to hit the year that Mark's there. Mancuso from Colorado, that'd be kind of cool. But I don't know if he's. I mean, I know he's talked about Chicago too, but I don't know either what he's got planned. So I would say just make sure you bring, if you have any. If not, I will hunt for some green air tanks for your Crocs if they can wear air tanks with the way I think we can wear air tanks the way our helmets work. But you probably want some green Croc air tanks because I definitely think Z will deserve to have a rainbow portal and some space bears and space Crocs invading his space area at Chicago. Because I joked about that and he said, "Oh yeah, that won't happen." I says, "Oh, so you're planning on not getting any sleep that weekend at all, are you?" "Oh, okay, that's good to know. Good to know." Because you got to go to bed at some point, and when you go to bed, something happens. I I would wait until after the judges go through with all their nomination flags and be like, okay, time to have some fun on everybody's layout except for Kevin's, because Kevin doesn't like that stuff. So.
Well, I have to take that into consideration. I do want to put a crock or two out on someone else's display.
I know Jeff will be up with it. Jeff Beans will be up for it, and then it's a matter of finding out who else is there. I'll probably light up the Discord as we get closer to Chicago and see if there's any other people. I just gotta make sure I got enough portals, so I gotta build a few more. Build a few more with the actual the colors I need to have for the right portals and all that, and locate all my chains. So.
Sorry, Troy. My Thanksgiving was good. We hosted cooked turkey, and it turned out very well. But I think we got too big of a turkey, so do better next year.
So here we go. Someone is here.
Too big of a turkey.
Hello, Larry, Mr. Hinkle.
Yeah.
Hi, Larry. Hi, Mr. Hinkle.
Oh yeah, we did. Oh yeah, I mean, I was with my sister, her kids, and watched TV and hung out, ate some food.
So what did you cook, Reed?
They had turkey.
What did you cook?
I cook?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Nothing?
I don't cook.
Who did all the cooking?
My sister and brother-in-law. My brother-in-law was a big.
So you cleaned up all the dishes then?
I did what I could where I could. I mean,
That's
in the
no.
end I offered, it wasn't always. They do very well. They don't. I mean, they have their kitchen the way I try helping a little bit.
They're really good at dishwashing. You don't want to mess up their process.
Well, no, I mean I do what I can where I can. Okay.
I keep that couch nice and warm.
I fetched the beers for my sister from the basement. She'd scream down, say, "Hey, I need a beer," and he'd go, "Hey, I think Ash needs a beer." I'm like, "Oh, yeah," and I'd run up and get her a beer. And
you bring 6 up, and you're like, "This should last you the rest of the day. I don't want to keep going up and down."
It was one at a time. Oh, okay, that's
I'm
sigh.
kidding.
That's sigh. Yes, that's sigh. Yep. Well, I mean, she's also got 3 kids. 2 of them were there early. The one was at the girlfriend's house, and he got a job, so he's going to be living. He's got a job in Germantown, so he'll be over there.
Ah, that's good.
Yeah,
that's not good.
So well, my niece is going to lacrosse. My other nephew is going to Milwaukee, and the one that's graduating from Milwaukee, he's graduating in December. Yep. I mean, I brought cheese curds. I left those behind, so
very good.
I asked if there was anything. I mean, I even asked my brother-in-law there. I said, I need to get your number so I can say, is there alcohol you need or something for you to pick up?
Wait, you don't have your brother-in-law's phone number?
I think I had it at one point. I don't know. But usually I don't really talk to him a lot. I mean, usually it's my sister.
Poppins, it'll get you.
Huh?
Those Poppins, Jerry, the Poppins.
So,
how far away do they live?
They're up by Columbus. They're like an hour.
Okay, so not bad. Half an hour.
No, not bad. Yeah, like 45 minutes. So it's we got over there early afternoon. Actually, we got there close to noonish or something. My text message, because Wednesday night was a total cluster blank at the bowling center. We bowled Wednesday night, and the bowling center had a band. Put it this way,
your lanes were backed up, if you know what I mean.
No, I mean basically what it was we're sitting at a table out in the concourse area. If you've been to a bowling center, there's whatever. This is an older one, so there's the wall with the bowling balls on the other side. But because there was a band playing, and supposedly that's the place to be in this town the day before Thanksgiving, so it got crowded really fast, and I tweaked my ankle halfway through the first game. No ankle brace. So, I mean, I'm hobbling on the lanes all night, but it kept getting pushed. My chair. my chair kept getting pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed into the table. I could take my elbows and swing either way, and I'd be hitting the upper area of women. But then again, that noise coming.
How tall was your chair?
Huh? No, because it just kept getting crowded, so that you couldn't sit back relaxed away from the table all night long. And just the noise coming from the female species behind me was rather loud. In addition to all the music.
So is that conversation? The noise from female species is that conversation?
I would call it more or less like cackling. I mean, that's the term I'm grown fond of. It's just a lot of cackling behind me, and yeah.
You live away with women, Reed.
And so yeah, that's probably why I'm single too, but that's okay. But yeah.
What is that noise the female species is making back there? It's like cackling.
Yeah, well, and I mean, the one guy's girlfriend was there, and we're kind of looking at each other, and a little kind of conversation back and forth, but we still had to you couldn't hear each other, so you kind of whisper.
She's like, it was a conversation entirely in nods and winks.
Tried to a little bit, but it's like she's like, "Did you see the one behind you?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I'm trying not to look at the woman like shaking her booty or boobies behind me. I'm not trying to look at that, it's like I'm trying to bowl, get my mind on what's going on, but it was just like. Yes.
You were able to say all this in nods and winks?
Well, no, we'd lean in because you couldn't say anything. I mean, they're so loud. The band is so loud. I mean, we couldn't talk. It was pretty crazy. So it was nutty. I mean, I bowled okay, but one of our bowlers, our anchor bowler, had a 289 first game, and he bowled like crap the rest of the night. It was too hard. I mean, we said, next year we're not bowling. So it was just too distracting, too hard to move around. Basically, when I tried to put my bowling stuff away, I think I said excuse me 3 times in increasing loudness to get these people to understand that, hey, I need to get to this thing on the floor that you're standing in front of. It was just like people were oblivious that it was actually a bowling center. It's like, go in the bar. I mean, the dance floor was half full. The hallway was empty. I'm like, yeah, everybody's right where we're at. I'm like, yeah, it was pretty bad. But
so what are all the amenities that are offered at the bowling center?
Drinking or bowling. Drinking or bowling. I guess. Well, dancing.
Concert venue.
Huh?
I said there must be a concert venue, right?
No. Oh, no.
No. Then how was there a band there?
They were at near the front wall of the bar up near
like lanes 1 through 4.
No. The lanes are here. The lanes are like on this side of the screen, okay? And then you've got bar and dance floor. I mean, it's the bar. I mean, once you get to the bar counter, it's bar all the way in. But yeah, it's small. It's not very big. It really shouldn't be bowling that night.
So bowling center is a misnomer then?
Yeah.
I mean, when you say it's a bowling center, I assume it's some sort of mega complex of services.
Bowling alley. Okay, does that sound better? Bowling alley.
Well, that sounds a lot better. That's what it sounded like. Okay. Is it called the bowling center though?
No, Sugar River Lanes. It's a bowling alley.
Oh, so you just made up the center part?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
All right. I assume it was.
Yeah. Here we go. Yeah. This is the root issue, Kevin.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Reed's arms are right at upper body level of women.
I mean, the problem is they got so close. You're just like, I mean, really? I mean, we're trying. I mean, it was hard to get off your chair to go bowl. And it was just like, yeah, to me, it was just very, if I'm there, like somebody said, did you go back? Are you kidding me? I was happy to get the heck out of Dodge. I mean, I didn't want to go back there. I mean, besides then, they were too drunk at that point. I mean, I sure as heck wouldn't want to be around there then. But in the end, unless I'm a designated driver, but it was I mean, to me, when you're bowling, I'm like, I bowled the last Friday night at the other bowling center, which has like 40 lanes. I mean, and I bowled there, and and the concourse and everything is set up so much better that you really can't get invaded like to all the seating. I mean, there's seating that would I mean, that the problem with that center is it's so compact that it got no, they didn't have polls, but they probably should have. I'm sure half the women that were around us probably would have gone and used them. I'm sure. So, Mr. Smithers from Simpsons.
That would be at a bowling club, not a bowling center. A bowling club would have the polls.
Well, definitely. I tried watching a little bit of my Wisconsin Badger basketball game. When I turned, I just saw people. I couldn't see the screen either direction. It was just kind of crazy. But yeah, it was. Put it this way, the half of the last game, I basically threw my cards in for the card game, said I am done with this, and I went and sat down on the lanes. But the goal for us is to sit with the team. You know, your camaraderie, you're melding as a team. You're enjoying yourselves. I mean, it wasn't an enjoyable evening for us. First game it was, because there wasn't that many people. And I just kind of went down the crapper after that.
So you kind of struck out.
I wasn't even swinging. If I'd have been swinging, I probably.
Did you have any strikes?
Huh?
Did you have any strikes?
I had strikes. I shot 603. I did okay. I mean, towards the end, like I said, the first game I was better off. Once I started hobbling, I was on the ball of my foot.
You became a hobgoblin?
Yeah, I became a hobgoblin. Yeah.
Hobgoblin.
Well, I mean, we could hear what they were talking about sometimes, but it just was like, could have met my future girlfriend. Actually, while we're on that subject, since I did have an interaction since the last show, and Kevin brought it up, I was actually at my stop on Wednesday morning, or no, Monday. Monday I went to the one stop. He used to be on my Wednesday morning runs, but now he's at a different store. Like, yeah, I was shooting darts the other night, and I had this woman, was talking to me, and she talked about Lego. Lots. She's talking about Lego forever, and I'm like, really? Did you, yeah, I was almost ready to just figure out how to get her number for you. I'm like, oh, okay. And I'm like, well, how old? I'm getting up there. I'm getting old. I don't know, maybe in her late 30s. I'm like, okay, whatever.
Build up this relationship.
And it was just, it was funny because, it was just funny because he's, she's talking to him about Lego. He's not a Lego guy, but whatever. And I'm like, it's probably because of Lego Masters and just pandemic and everything that there are a lot more people talking about it probably than most people would think. That wouldn't be something I would bring up in a bar unless I was around people that knew me and was asking me about how I was doing, what I was doing with my stuff. It's not something to say, hey guys, I just built a castle yesterday. I'm not going to be, it's like nobody's going to.
Do you think she's looking for some studs?
She might be. I could be a good stud.
Yeah.
I do play with a lot of plates too. Tiles, might be a little flat once in a while. Sometimes I've lost a lot of my game, Troy. I'm sorry, man. I've lost a lot of it. I'm hoping Prontero will help bring some of that back, but I don't know. He's not doing as well as I thought he would. So let's see, what do we got here? Stud City is my Italian family played bocce ball all the time. My Polish side family was too into real deal bowling, so I became very good at duck pin bowling. Bocce's fun. Bocce bowling's fun. A duck pin is, we had like a couple wired ones of like those small pins with the small balls at the bowling center in Colorado I worked at, but they yanked all that out when they re-expanded back and added 8 lanes back in. It was probably the only private center in Colorado that is doing very well. So we're one of the few.
Yeah, you did some polls and some research on that?
No, I was always in there and it was always absolutely crazy. So Larry is still dashing, busy night. So he's probably dashing through the snow. I'm guessing you probably have snow out there, don't you, Ralph? You can give a thumbs up because you're muted. So.
Yeah, we don't have any snow right now.
You don't? Do they have any down in Denver? No.
Yeah, we've got just enough to make it obvious that it snowed.
We got a trace, but it didn't stick around long enough to do anything. So it's been cold the last couple of days. It's definitely feels like it's approaching at some point. It's getting there. So I gotta figure out why my Google Chrome is so.
Yeah, the weather folks here have not been highly accurate as to what these storms are going to do. So mostly wait and see, and a lot of wait and see.
Hey Larry, I'll pay you $200 to bring me a DQ Blizzard right now.
Hey, Yeah, I'd add probably 100 for that too. I mean, I could use one too. Just hit me before you go up and get to him. So yeah.
I put in my order first. Doesn't work that way.
Yeah, but you know, I'm more on the way when he's coming from where he's coming. You know. Well, I
Hey,
guess.
Troy, how'd your turkey turn out? I think I saw a picture of it. And Ralph, what did you do for Thanksgiving? I missed it.
We went to my folks' house. We put all the turkey and fixings together here at my house, and then transported it to where my parents live.
Not too far away?
It's not bad. It's a little over an hour.
Oh, okay.
So it's not horrific, but
oh, pumpkin pie, really?
My sister had cheesecake.
Cheesecake. Ugh.
Cheesecake. I had blueberry. She had 2 flavors of cheesecake. I had the blueberry. I mean, I probably
pumpkin pie is okay, but it's not the best pie you can have.
When I was at Colorado, probably would have been pumpkin or apple pie, probably at Todd's.
My wife's side of the family makes pretzel salad, which is phenomenal.
What is that?
Pretzel salad, which is pretzels, strawberries, Jello, like a cream cheese layer, and crushed pretzels and butter, and it's cooked in the oven. It's fantastic.
It sounds delicious, actually.
So
my sister did make. We did have Chex Mix before dinner. My one nephew, I think, pretty much finished the bowl that was sitting next to me at one point, and yeah. So.
Did you cuff him for daring to finish your bowl?
No, it wasn't. I was no longer near the bowl when he grabbed it and finished it. But yeah, she makes a really nice.
Pie crust is one of the best parts. Sometimes with apple pie, it's the best part. Oh, that's right. We've got a caramel apple pie from Uncle Mike's I bought as a backup that we still get to eat. Oh, it's going to be so good. Yeah, Larry, if you drop off that blizzard, I'll give you a slice of the caramel apple pie.
Yeah, but I think the offer for the $100 probably went out the window if that's the case.
No, I would still pay him $200 if he delivered me a blizzard himself.
I'm just wondering what the time frame would be on that, and would it would it be melted? Hey Zizu, how's it going? I might have to exit and re-come back in Firefox because my Google Chrome is really starting to slow down. I think I'm going to.
And see, cheesecake's not something we ever really had. Cheesecake's got its place, and I love some of the Cheesecake Factory cheesecakes, but cake is probably my favorite, followed by pie. Well, a good cheesecake can be really good, but I don't eat it that often.
Put my optimization button up there. I'll figure out why my computer is being so flaky.
If it's a cheap pie, then I will always pass on it. If it's a good homemade pie or it's made from a really good bakery, then pie can be phenomenal. But you have to have good crust before it's worth going after. Pumpkin pie is one of those where the crust doesn't matter that much, in my opinion, because the pumpkin is so overpowering. You're typically going to have whipped cream or ice cream or, God forbid, Cool Whip.
Yeah, well, not Cool Whip. That's gross.
I need to get back. This is kind of crazy.
Yeah, but for most pie, if you don't eat the crust, all you're eating is pie filling, which isn't as good. Oh, I drove Reed away. Sorry, everyone. So I would disagree on that. Like an apple pie, if you just eat the apple filling, isn't very good, in my opinion. Same thing with the cherry pie. You get too much. You got to have that balance. Oh, yeah, I would imagine New York's got a lot more cheesecake. Versus here in Wisconsin, cheesecake has never been that big of a thing. My favorite pie is probably French silk, but I like... my mom used to make banana cream and lemon meringue pies that were very good. And then a good apple pie or a caramel apple pie can be delicious as well. but I'm more of a chocolate sweet tooth. So the French silk pie is usually my favorite if it's made well.
That stuff's just really rich, that French silk.
Yes, he's more. Yeah, it is really rich. We hosted, and our cousins were over, and he was up late both nights and like before 6 o'clock both mornings. So he's just wiped out.
We'll know if he jumps on Minecraft thing because you'll just start to just freeze up.
Oh, it doesn't mean he won't still play something. He's just not. He's. I mean, he was almost falling asleep on the couch earlier, so which is unusual for him.
Wasn't a really boring movie that you had on the TV?
No.
Yeah, so it was good.
If you're getting French silk, make sure it's from a good bakery. You don't want like a grocery store French silk pie. Yeah, cakes can be hit or miss. So, because sometimes cakes are even from a good place, they just aren't that. They're a little bland or dry. Versus pies can be a little more consistent, but it varies. I usually scout out all the bakeries and pastry places whenever I move somewhere or visit somewhere, so I know where to go to get more.
Yeah.
What happened there?
So. Other than that, I really haven't been doing much. Got a mess down here. I probably should spend some time cleaning.
Yeah, we've got the dairy for it.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
New York has really been the cheesecake capital in the U.S. to my knowledge. That's what I always think of when I think of cheesecake. Yeah, Reed, what's your favorite pie?
Blueberry pie is my favorite, but always, it always bad. But I mean, and it's just that's why even there's a couple of companies do like the little the small pies, like the small just the small pies that you can buy in the stores and stuff. But
like the Hostess ones.
Yeah, I like the Hostess ones. I don't like as much. I like the JJ's. I think it's based out of like Rockford or somewhere. They're Woodman. Okay, but I think we had a blueberry issue this year. I think there was a time when it was hard to get anything blueberry. Blueberry pie with ice cream. Yeah, if it was New York vanilla, I'd definitely be eating something like that.
There's actually a decent Amish population just west of Green Bay. So there are a lot of places that carry Amish fry pies, which are like the Hostess ones, but a lot better.
Really?
Yeah. So typically the Hostess pies are just barely edible versus most of the other ones you get. I'd rather not waste the calories on.
As you guys have seen in person, I need to start worrying about calories. I have not, but yeah, probably should. So, need to figure out good exercises because sorting Lego isn't exercising enough.
I'm interested to see what the figures look like before I get too excited about it.
Have any pictures been leaked yet or not? Or it's conversation stuff?
The Viking set's amazing, so I have low expectations for any other idea sets for a little while.
Unless it's as exciting as that one.
Well, the figures can make all the difference. If it has good figures, I will be very excited about it.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to be a good enough set that I'm going to want to keep it together.
Well, I haven't wanted to keep any of them. I want to eventually tear them all apart and build something custom. But
the fishing shanty is still one of my favorite builds. Yeah. There are some of the Lord of the Rings sets that I may not take apart ever.
Yeah. If you live near me, we could be gym buddies. Yeah, you can move to Wisconsin.
Buddies, bowling center buddies.
You can move to Wisconsin. Buddies. It won't be as entertaining as Texas, but hey, just let me know. I'll tell my mom I've got a friend coming over to help live here and pay the bills.
Yeah, you could. Yeah.
Just freak out my sister. What? There's another person living there? Yeah.
You want a room with Reed, Mr. Hinkle?
He doesn't have any
Stop by and
Lego.
visit for a little while.
He doesn't have any Lego, so it's bowling alley buddies instead of bowling center, I guess. So,
Yeah, I know that's how most people say it. That's not how Reed says it.
well, depends on the size of the thing. I let it was a slip of the tongue that I used the word center.
It was a repeated slip of the tongue, so it was more of a nomenclature for you personally.
I wanted to make it sound like it was maybe
A lot more than it was. Oh, you did.
Maybe able to handle the crazy crowd that was there rather than, yeah, but he's from Texas. So Kevin's from Texas. He lived in Colorado when I met him, and then he moved to a few places. He moved to, was it Arizona, Kevin? Then to Texas, then to Connecticut. That's where he's been stuck ever since.
Yeah, I was asking the same thing. I assumed there were more amenities, but apparently there was a bar and an alley. Although there was the
center's just a bigger
concourse, which might be where you have a wedding reception, or it might be the hallway to the bathrooms. I don't know which one Reed's using that for.
I think the centers generally they'll have meeting rooms or places. Yeah, like they can host a wedding. Like Schwagler's will host one can host one in the basement. So they got a basement there. So so. Just whatever you do, just don't tell Zebrus it's a castle, because he won't be psyched at all. So he's a space guy.
He's never liked those castle sets.
No. Well, I jumped on Mark's stream this last Sunday. That was entertaining. Interesting. As we.
I have to say, you said you didn't really shoot for anything. There were more deals than I've ever seen on Lego over the past week since last Friday, and a lot of good deals. I didn't pick up much, but there were a lot of 30-40% off. There were 50% off sets. They had all of the Harry Potter banner sets for at least 50% off. There was
let's say my friend beat me, but then again, he didn't have crazy women, behind him all night long making all kinds of racket. He shot 760. So
yeah, what a distraction! How rude. But yeah, the Lego deals weren't that bad. Nothing stellar. The Ninjago Gardens was 30% off last weekend. Almost every Monkey Kid set was 20% off, or is right now. I did trigger the Magisto gift with purchase, even though the set's crap and the figures are crap. Still picked it up to essentially discount the cost of an ambush on Ferrex for myself, and I'll just sell it. I'm so disappointed. The Black Knights are my favorite faction of the classic faction, and they took one of the dumbest torsos and they just threw a stupid old Knight's helmet on it. What a disappointment. And Magisto and the Dragon Knights, or the Dragon, what do they call themselves? Sorry. That was the dumb second version of the Black Knights. The first, like the Black Knights Castle and the Black Monarchs Castle, that was really cool. And then the Dragon, what were they called? Dragon Masters? That was the stupid version of the Black Knights, and that's what they took to reproduce. Meanwhile, the Bat Lords, which was a stupid set or a stupid faction, is getting an awesome figure with the CMFs next year. It's a real travesty.
I guess we'll see. I didn't even try for the set; just didn't have the funds for it. I mean, but it looked like something I could probably almost build from all the stuff I have. I mean, other than the fig.
Yeah, the set's not good. The Magisto fig, I don't even know if he has printing on the torso.
No, he didn't look like he had any printing
And-
at all. It looked like just a blue freaking wizard, like what was in the BAM, basically.
And they went back to the stupid two-toned torso and one of the split dragon symbol on it, and no shield and nothing else. It was it's garbage figure.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of those things where, I mean, I'll just cry if it's something I want or look at. If it ends up in the bricks and minifig stores, I'll pick up stuff there. I mean, that's kind of what I've been doing. I mean, I did pick up. Actually, when I picked up the gift with purchases up in Green Bay, one of them I actually did have, but it wasn't marked on my brick set, so I have another one. But the other one was not. I did not have, and so I made sure I marked them both on brick sets, so I don't do that again.
And Zissou, the problem is, I've been stewing about this since I saw the gift with purchase, but there's really no one else I'm going to complain about this to other than this group. So,
Yeah, and
my log is not that interested in Castle, nor most of them haven't been collecting long enough to remember the old classic Castle sets, so no one else really cares. And you may not care either, but you're a captive audience while you're still on this stream.
The nice thing is, Izu, we can go record that later and play it back too. So we can use that, if we need it for future use too, because he's saying it here. So we've got it. We got it, so we can duplicate it and use it. Magically,
I'm merely impassioned.
Garbage with purchase. There you go, Kevin. There it is. Garbage with purchase.
Yeah, exactly. I'm impassioned about the things that I like that they screw up.
Well, let's see here. Kevin giving directions. Turn left at stupid traffic light. Drive 9 miles on the most boring highway ever. Hang a right at the lame gas station. Hey, yeah. Well, he'll give better directions to Larry if he's bringing him a blizzard. So it won't be those kind of directions.
We haven't heard anything from Larry ever since I made that offer. So now I'm worried it might not happen.
Oh, that hurts. That hurts.
Oh,
Kevin.
thanks, Kevin.
Oh.
Sorry, Reed.
That's fine.
Although I don't know if he considers you a cast member. I think you're really the host.
Possibly. I mean, he was an awesome cast member for those first, what was it, 3 years he was in here?
You're the Greg Popovich of the show.
Yeah, he was in here for a long time. Actually, I've only uploaded the first 4 or 5 episodes from my channel to this channel, and a couple of them have Kevin right in there, front and center. He might even be the thumbnail right up front because he's one of the first ones you saw.
And the original wasn't that great of a set either. So I didn't think any of the Dragon Master sets were any good, personally. And then the Bat Lords had the witch that looked dopey. Although the Bat Lord's castle wasn't bad.
Which one was the Bat Lord's castle? What year was that? What year?
Would have been early 90s, maybe. I think KB had them for 50% off, and I picked up like 3 extra copies of them.
And we're looking for Bat Lord Castle. Ooh, there's Black Knight's Castle, pretty cool. Wolfpack Tower, 93. Looking for the Bible.
Purchase, agreed. It's essentially a $20 discount on my buy, is what it is. Because I just resell it and get the savings on the.
I think everybody's saying it's showing up like 30 on the receipts in the store. So
yeah, it's got more pieces, but I don't know. I would think that the Forestman set's going to have more value than that, but I don't know for sure. I love the Forestman set to get the purchase.
Yeah, and that I think they still have. I think I've seen a couple of those at the Bricks and Minifigs.
And
I think I have 1 or 2.
The Pirate gift with purchase was pretty good. The Galileo set gift with purchase was good. So all of the GWPs lately have been pretty decent. So it's not surprising we're back to a bad one.
Back at the Forestman, so I think I've gone too far.
Yeah, but that Batlord figure looks awesome.
Now, I mean, like Chop, if he was in here, would say, I mean, there's only like 1 Bat Lord, but would you be able to use those figs to make?
I have the weirdest feeling Chop would disagree with me on things. I don't know why, but I just get that feeling.
So is that something that you could army build with the Batlord Fig?
Well, the Batlord Fig, as long as it's not, as long as it doesn't have very specific unique components to it, like figs occasionally do, you can work with it. So I mean, that Rogue is a little unique in that it has the left arm guard, that force pit or the Wolfpack Rogue, but it's still, you can army build with it, and it's got really cool.
Well, you know, I haven't found it yet, but I did stumble upon Mr. Hinkle's favorite set, that Fort Lego Rado.
Oh, I have
I
that.
mean, he's not in the hobby anymore, but I still remember his favorite set. Oh, here we go. Okay, found it. 1997. Okay, we got Batlord Catapult.
Oh yeah, that figure is totally army buildable. The helmet's really cool. The shield's better than the old one. I can't see the torso well, but it looks like it's going to be a nice, unique torso too. And I assume the legs are printed as well. It looks awesome.
Night Lord Castle.
And whatever that, I don't think it's a Hun. Whatever that figure, maybe it's a barbarian or something, or gladiator. Also looks cool. Oh, and of course the goat with the traveler.
Yeah,
that'd be really nice.
Okay.
And the mushroom girl. There's all sorts of cool things. It's the best CMF series we've had in a while.
Yeah, the problem is just.
Oh, I have my bat army, but it's a little different than the Batlord army.
I don't. Was it actually? I can't find that one. I found something else, but didn't find that one. Only night. Found a. On the Witch's Magic Manor, and I found the Night Lord's Castle. Not cool. Oh, Night Lord's Castle. That's good, Sidious. We need more. You know, the Chima need more victims. So yes, the more the merrier.
It's just wishful thinking, Reed.
Or possible allies, you know, as we branch off and invade the hall at Brickworld Chicago. So we'll make sure each party has a few of each faction so that they all know where they're coming from. Joint invasion. Yeah, I go to Chop's place every time is always so entertaining. We did actually pop in when we were up there. We popped in the Saturday night backstage when we were there. Hoosier was out hunting, so there was no live stream that Saturday.
Oh, Hoosier was hunting, huh?
Yep. So there was a backstage though, so I did kind of jump in that. So. That would be kind of cool. I mean, I kind of think Ninjago might be kind of doing some animal-ish type kind of figures of sorts. But yeah, it would be kind of cool if they figured out something to kind of, you're right, some kind of like, you're right, a Chima look like figure for CMF would be nice. A badger would be cool. I mean, I'm not going to be army building that one because I got my own army of them, but something kind of cool, some kind of animal that we haven't seen yet that would be cool in a thing that would kind of give people that, you know, I mean, isn't that kind of how we're getting stuff? We're getting all kinds of different figures that could be, you know, everybody uses them for whatever. I mean, I did sell 15 of those rogues, so I'm down a little bit. I'm down to 16. I got rid of Pop's Block bought 15 of them. Oh yeah, I got something in trade. I got some of the. Didn't I bring those with me, or leave them out in storage? I got a couple of the. Paper packs of guys that are in the magazines or something. A couple of the in trade I think they're out in storage. They could do stuff like that. It'd be kind of cool to do some stuff like that. So, Mr. Hinkle, how was your Thanksgiving? I don't know, did we ask? BB Toys is legendary. I missed that. Yeah, I mean that was going out of business. I think at the Colorado Mills Mall where I was at one time, but I don't think I found much when I was there. That or by the time I got there was no Lego left. I mean, there were enough people that bought Lego. Oh, here we go.
Here's my Bat Army.
Bat Army. Oh, is that a Batman up front there from one of the
Batman, Wizard, the Centurions, the Bat Shield. So I had a bunch of figures, or 2 rows of figures I used in another build, but yeah, I used the Bat Halloween pack from Toys R Us from a few years back and got into them. So that's my Bat Lords. I'll have to incorporate those helmets in as a better use than some of the other ones here.
Battle Beast.
Battle Beasts, not the Transformers, right? Oh, these look familiar. Look vaguely familiar.
Hey.
Show my big polar bears have more scale. Eating my nose.
All right. Well, while you guys were all talking, I've been working on this.
Meanwhile, I was talking.
Yeah.
It was mostly me.
Annoying read, as it were.
Yeah, well, I was annoying Reed. Ralph was
putting Christmas lights onto a tree. So I have to hide a few wires. It will slowly change colors.
Now, is that a kit or is that just some custom stuff you're working on?
As custom stuff I'm working on, because I started playing with multicolored LEDs. The problem with these little wires is that they just never cooperate. Ever.
They don't work well with Lego, is what you're trying to say?
Oh, they work fine with Lego. They just don't work with big fat fingers.
So, Reed, here's the army of skeletons you guys will fight next time.
I don't know, Ralph. That looks kind of small, doesn't it?
No, in D&D,
Yeah,
not in your Chima world. I bring my bigger army for Chima.
What's left after the Crocs have a short snack.
Yeah, I know. We're gonna fight those again? What?
We just took all the good meat off those bones.
There's more fighting to be done?
It's not fighting. It's collecting food resources.
Yeah, it was not the hot. stud. Not the hot. All right. Well, I need to go put my kids to bed, so I may be on a little later. We shall see.
Well, we shall be around. I'm hoping.
Okay. For those of you that drop off while I'm gone, good seeing you. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy post Thanksgiving. And I may return.
Okay. Well, we will look forward to your return. Almighty.
We'll see you in a little bit. Or not.
Battle Beasts were cool because they were minifig guys that build Lego MOCs from them way back. I actually did that with the. I did that with like some of the Fisher Price things, I think, or whatever, you know. Oh.
All right, now what do I build? Need to find something else.
I don't know. I was looking for something to build, and I could probably sort some more of that collection over on the floor. I need to finish that. It's been like an ongoing project for a while. I haven't finished it yet. Getting down to all the small pieces. This is a place to sort it. It's not a table, but.
Oy. Well, I have something I'll build.
Ooh. This is the stuff I was hoping that was going to come in that box. I was hoping it was going to be the what do you call it? I don't know what it is now. I remember it was on the tip of my tongue, like a candle type thing, candle holder.
Yeah.
The 1x2 light blue translucent bricks. And then, of course, these really cool gold leaves, the small ones, pearl gold. Supposed to be some of those. Oh, and actually, with that candle holder, it did come with some white candles and some flames. And I'm like, I mean, how can you lose stuff like that? It's just like, it blows my mind. But, you know, in the end, I will have fun with my phone games for a while because I won $14 billion earlier today, so I'll be playing for a while. So. Play the My Vegas. So we'll see. My screen started with a really cool thing. I was like, Ralph, wouldn't that be cool for some ideas for like our stuff? You know, or some nice landscape changing. Like that's kind of nice. Maybe the underworld.
That would be cool.
Some underworld type stuff. Mix some green with some rocks. So I don't have to use all my gray. Nice deep brick. I don't know. We got to figure that out. But I mean, that's why I think Chop is building. I think he's working with something with the bats and the spiders. What set are you building right now? What's the name of that set?
This is the Gorilla. What's it called? The Striker. The Gorilla Striker.
I need the book that goes into Chima.
Yeah. This one right here.
Now,
kind of open. I can get this cough out of the way. That once it's built, it might look really good with some LEDs on it.
Yeah, actually, what is it? Does it look like it could have some evil eyes in the mech itself? You can maybe do some red evil eyes looking out at you.
That's possible. It's got eye sockets. Could probably put a red LED in there.
Just put it on a spinning disc. And then you just have it remote controlled. So when kids start to reach into the layout, you just have that thing spin and turn and light up the eyes. And you're like, uh-oh, you've awakened the hand god.
You have awakened the beast.
The hand god sees it all. Reaching towards the layout will wake him up all the time. And I've never seen him in action, so I don't know what he'll do to your hands, but I'm guaranteeing it probably will not be pretty. Then you get some smart aleck kid who'd say, "Oh, I dare you, do it, do it."
It would be interesting to see bats or the big spider. If that's the direction that Chop goes.
Yeah, well, he did the Eagle Spire last year, which was pretty good too. I mean, it's definitely. I probably need to watch some of the videos from Chima, get some ideas of some of the actual areas. What's wild is, like I joked with like somebody, the Chima ice bears are not in the Chima encyclopedia book, which is quite humorous. I kind of make that quite humorous. Must have been a race they just didn't think they were going to use, I guess.
Well, perhaps the author of the book was a little bit biased and didn't like the Chima ice bears.
At least I didn't see it in there. No, I looked.
Well, I got the copy of the book that I just bought. I can look to see if they are in there. Where's my encyclopedia? The Bible. Which is oddly sitting on my desk. Let's see. Lion, crocodile, eagle, raven, wolf, gorilla, rhino, nomads.
I think it's part of, it was supposed to be part of the other races. I think one of those.
They have the Outlands tribes, the Fire tribes, and the Hunter tribes.
I think it's 100.
Interesting. What is one of the ice bear character names?
That's a good question. I don't know. It'd be something ice paw or ice claw.
So they definitely. All right, we've got all of the.
Well, obviously, as we have found out, Stud, if they have the goat mold, they have all the molds if they want to use them. So, I mean, that almost kind of tells us that mold thing. I mean, they might have destroyed some of the really old ones or buried them wherever, but I mean, probably the last couple of decades, they cost so much. I mean, you just wouldn't want to destroy a mold. I mean, because if for some reason you really needed it, for some reason, you wouldn't want to have to make a new one. I mean, I think they're expensive. That's why when we see these parts in the city sets that drive the price up and the piece count down, it's because they got those new parts in there and they're like the ramps for the stunts. I mean, those prices were kind of out of this world for those versus what you got. And so that's probably it. The new mold, they're trying to make it back all in one line versus trying to use them. Like now they're using them in the skate park and city. Use them in other sets so that, you're not trying to make it up all in one set or one theme. And then you got a chance to make people not freak out when they see it. Because I didn't buy any of those stunt sets. Any of the really nice ones I wanted with all those cool loops and stuff, they're just too expensive. I was like, I never saw them on sale.
So Reed, the encyclopedia is, I don't know if I call it flawed, but it's limited. It only covers the sets from 2013 to 2014, which means it does not include any of the ice bears.
Yeah.
So
they were going to do another one. Maybe they were going to do it like the yellow book, like the thing, maybe do a couple versions or something. Or they just wanted the one and just didn't, just pick the poor time to do it, I guess, maybe.
Well, they only did one encyclopedia, so You'd have thought they would have included the last done a book for the last season, but they have.
Oh, I wonder what
There's
this is.
definitely no ice bears in here. They even have the sets. This is the page with the sets, and it does not include all the sets.
There's another DKL2 Lego Legends of Chima, Tribes of Chima by Amos Ruth. I wonder if that's a different book.
Yeah, this is the character encyclopedia, but apparently it only covers the first 2 years.
I was looking at eBay, and there's like a Lego Legends of Chima, Tribes of Chima, and then there's a DK Readers L2 Lego Legends of Chima, Tribes of Chima. It's almost like it's 2 different books. I'm gonna have to go to Amazon because it's too kind of crazy.
Yeah, those look like early reader books, though.
Oh, is that what those are?
Just like those are beginning to read alone books. So they might
be even more dated then, right?
Yeah.
I mean, in the end, it's cool to have. I mean, just from the sake, but when it's incomplete like that, it just kind of just makes you go, maybe we need to do our own. But I don't have enough of the sets or stuff to do that.
Yeah, I'll have to look at all the books, but
yeah, they could do a Chima fig somehow. They could just do that, or you come up with. I mean, but just like they use different molds for different stuff, like the. I think one of the molds was used in multiple stuff other than just Chima, like the wolf head, or one of them was used. I think the skunk head or something. Something's been used by a couple different things other than just the Chima, and so it's one of those things where they could do stuff like that. Well, yeah. That or they, I mean, unfortunately, Monkey Kid's licensed. It'd be nice to, induce some Chima stuff into another theme. And I think that almost looked like they were maybe going to try and do that with Ninjago, but I guess it just didn't happen the way everybody would hope it would happen.
Well, looking at the catalog of Chima books, there is not one with the ice bears that I can see.
Oh, it's sad. It's sad. They could. I mean, you've done classic other stuff. They probably should. It'd be kind of neat, Now that it's not, now that they're doing boxes anyways, it's not like it's going to be built into a massive army type stuff unless somebody's buying boxes and getting rid of the other stuff, which I might have to do for the next series. Because I'm starting to see some of the Marvel ones in the Walmart. Some are open, some are not. Some I don't even look because I'm afraid to get my, hands down there and then somebody say, "Oh, you're opening." No, I'm not opening figs. No better than that. Yeah, Ninjago looked like it was drifting a little bit. They had a lot of animals in that one because they had the snakes and other stuff. I mean, you thought they'd maybe try to do something from that standpoint that would be really cool. So, yeah, I didn't really look for anything on Black Friday. I mean, in the old days, going to the Lego store was worth it to go look and see for deals. I just don't think it is as exciting unless you're looking for new stuff or you're looking for the gift with purchases. I just don't. The old days, we had the scratch cards and all kinds of neat things, and I just think a lot of that probably went out when they started liquidating people in the late 2002 teens. I think all that really cool stuff, all that cool stuff, just kind of all those ideas kind of went with all the people that kind of walked out the door, and
they seem to Lego seems to become very, very corporate. They're not down to earth anymore.
Very stale, very money related. Almost, if we want to make a comparison, almost like Brickfest Live.
Almost
getting to that point where they could be twins. I mean, it's pretty sad. I mean, the sad thing is the designers and all those guys are great, but the retail division seems like it's definitely losing a few steps. I mean, it's not as exciting as it used to be. But then again, they're putting stores everywhere. So, what made the Lego store unique when I was there, especially in the early days, was people were trekking to get there. They'd make it. On the weekends they'd make it an attempt to go there. Like if they were in before they had anything well, they never had one in Wyoming. So Wyoming people would drive down, or people from Kansas, because there was, until Kansas City, there was nothing there. And there's nothing on the western side anyway, so they'd still probably drive. But, New Mexico, Arizona, if there wasn't stores, they would drive to like Colorado, 4, 5, 6 hours. And they just kind of, it's kind of one of those things that it was more special. And that's kind of why I made sure I talked to customers, because they're like, well, what are you working on? I mean, what are you guys working on when you're making these trips? And what do you need for parts? What are you looking at? I mean, because we had back in the days, we had the list, and I got the laying all over the place. I could pull them out if I needed to.
Yeah, they don't ask that question anymore. They ask the really stupid question, that's more or less saying, "Hey, what's your kid building?"
Yeah, well, but I knew the people when you're on the wall and you're looking and you're building and you're filling cups and say, when you talk to customers, you're like, oh yeah, well we're up from like Phoenix, we make an effort to come up here like every month, and so this is a good 4-hour drive, whatever the heck it was, and so we're up here, and I'm like, well, what are you working on? What are you building? And you're like, oh, this and that. Says, well, what's not on the wall that you'd really like to see? And I'm like, well, okay, And in the end, if they said something and it was something like, yeah, they're out right now, but it could be something like 2x4 dark gray or something. Like, well, hey, Jeff Snavely's here. But if it was something that maybe I could get a hold of, I'd be like, well, okay, here, why don't you give me your email? Let me email and say, hey, guess what? Next, and email and say, hey, guess what? We got them in. They're coming in like a couple weeks or whatever. So they'll hopefully be here the next time you're here or whatever. So, well, no, and it's not. What's funny, Stud, is you make that comment. And that comment is exactly what corporate would say all the time. But the problem is that's what they think. They think all of the AFOLs that work in the stores talk to AFOLs, and that's all they talk to. The problem is the district managers and the regional managers failed me because they didn't talk to me and they didn't listen to what I had to say. Because basically I listened to all the customers, everyone, the parents saying, hey, I see you got bricks on the wall. I see you have door frames. Where are the doors? How come there's no window frames? How come there's no slopes so my kids can make a roof on their house? Exactly. All their minifigs are getting wet because there's no roof on the house. Or like, wow, that's how much you have to buy the whole train set together. I'm like, yeah, that's how it comes. I listen to everybody, and that's why, when I did a lot of the inside ideas, because they had that on the inside for the employees. All my ideas, except for maybe 1 or 2, were based on strictly talking to customers, parents, kids. That's it. Not AFOLs. I had one AFOL project, and that was so they would get a real propeller that actually propels vehicles, because we do boat races, and I think other shows have done it now, but Chicago does it every year, and it's huge. It's a big thing there. But you can't do propellers. You do propellers, you're going to get wiped. You probably won't get 3 feet in the pool, and the other boats with paddles will be at the other end of the pool. You can't do paddles. You can't do propellers. They don't make one that works. Now, if you talk to Sean Kelly or Jeremy McCreary from DENLUG, those guys used the actual RC boat propellers, and those boats haul. Those would beat anything in the pool. But that's because those propellers were made with speed, propulsion in mind. So one I did that was AFOL based. Everything else, bring back the doors and windows kits, the roof tile kits. That was all based on talking to parents and saying, hey, how come we just can't get this stuff for building houses and stuff? Because the wall wasn't reliable enough. The wall's never been reliable enough to do that. Cars is about the only thing, because you could have wheels, rims, axles. Bingo, you make a car. Well, brick built propellers were way too much. Remember, you gotta get them going through the water. And people have tried it. The only one that was kind of cool was the Spinjitzus, the ones that went in the air. Very stable in the water, but not very fast. You put tires on either side.
No, because you couldn't spin them up very fast.
Yeah, they were. It was a few people had them, and they're very stable in the water. The boat will be probably the most stable thing in the water. but you're right, it won't go very fast. It just
because if you spin that propeller up, basically it would lose its ability to propel you forward.
Yeah. I mean, remember, they weren't huge. I mean, when I joined, it was right, a couple years after almost going belly up. And so, I joined in 2009. And they had nowhere near the amount of stores they do now. I think they might have been, I don't know, let me take a guess, 40 or 50 in the U.S., period. Because we were out in Colorado. People were coming from Arizona, Kansas. In the early, there was only 30, 40 stores. Now that I think there's over 100 in the U.S., but that's over the course of 14 years. And they were expanding pretty rapidly. It's kind of one of those things where that's why I'll pull out my old list because I had them. I was doing stuff at home all the time. I worked from home. The one thing managers would never know is, I put in a lot more hours than they would ever when I was salary than they'd ever know. 60, 70 hours a week because I did stuff at home. I still play and pick a brick at home and look through the list as I'm sitting here, whatever. Just, watching movies and stuff. I was, always working, always paying attention. And so I have those lists because I had them with me. And so I was like, wow, this is what we could order. Back in the days it was, and they're going to boxes now. But when we had cups, the funny thing was with cups, I made sure there were big parts. And that the goal about any business is making money. You can put small parts galore on the pick and brick wall and you're not going to make any money. You're going to lose money. But if you put big plates and stuff in there that, are going to block, the stackability in the cups, you're going to make oodles of money unless it's all AFOLs buying and they're stacking and being precise. But even then, you're still probably going to make money because big plates just didn't go in those cups very well because they went down. So just 6x16 only would go so much. So,
but the average person that goes in there is not an AFOL. They're shopping for their kids. Their kids aren't going to stack those boxes or those cups.
Yeah. So in the end, that was the goal is, when I was ordering pick and brick is to do it so that there was always stuff that, for the people who are doing quick cups, Lego's making a fortune on them. You're right. On the AFOLs, not so much, but
but
AFOLs
they're not.
AFOLs now will sit in there in those stores and spend a lot of time. But I think a lot of these guys that do these bulk buys that are buying and then reselling on the AFOLs of Facebook, not everything is being stacked. A lot of that loose stuff, they're just piling it in there because in the end, stacking some of that stuff ain't gonna matter. The flowers, all that stuff, you can't. It's just, in the end, you'll waste more time trying to stack some stuff than you will by just dumping it in. That's why I never stack my plates. I got 1,050 to 1,100 1x2 plates in every large cup. Have I stacked it? Could I have gotten 1,500? Yes, but how long would it have taken to stack 1,500 1x2 clear plates? Insane amounts of time.
Too long. It's just a point. It's just you can't sit there for several hours and do that.
What's funny is the best thing in all my years of Lego brand retail, the best thing to ever come out of the corporate office was their what was it? What do they call it? It was the big kiosk for all the little impulse buy kiosk. That was the best thing. That thing was best. Now it sucked with our store because we had the foam floors and that glue always kept coming up. And that sucker was so heavy, so we had to wax floors and stuff. Moving that sucker was hard, but that as a big contraption was the best thing. Whoever designed that was on their A game all the time because that was the best thing ever because everything fit on. You had so much stuff on there, and it was all keychains and all that stuff because, in the days of the mills and the outlet stores, stacking stuff like that was rudimentary. So where we go? What's well, it's worse for me. I'm in New Hampshire, the only one Lego store finally, and not anyone. Yeah. Well, yeah. That's kind of the thing is it's, the other thing too is, if there's nothing really close, it depends on how big of an area you're in. You could always try to see if you could be a chapter of an existing lug. Like perfect example is we have FOXLUG up in Green Bay that Mr. Wagner is part of one of the people that's at the top trying to get that as a registered lug. Well, there's people up there that are actually technically in both lugs. They're in the KLUG and the WISLUG, but they're they could be a chapter, for one of those lugs if that would work. I mean, basically we have 2 chapters for WISLUG, Milwaukee and Madison. So, I mean, there's people in both of them. But that's the other thing is look and see how many people are in your area right where you are that are into Lego. And I don't know how you find that out. I guess you hit whatever toy stores are in the area, the Walmart, hang out in the aisles a little bit and just see how many adults are in there kind of shopping without kids that, build. Still part of Okie Lug. That's good. Yeah. Just not really close to collaborate with that. Well, that or you figure out what, how they do it for like Chicago and stuff. Because we got Philip and Maria from Lego Masters. They are part of WISLUG, but I think they're kind of in Michigan. They were one of the Brick Worlds. They were stuck in the middle of the WISLUG, set of tables, and WISLUG kind of welcomed it part of the lug. I mean, so it happens like that too, where people everybody's close. And because they do Chicago, I mean, that's the thing is you find the lug that their main show is a bigger show that you go to, and that kind of almost acts as kind of that entry point into the lug. Yeah, just hang out in the Legos aisle. Yeah. More kids, college. Well, I mean, college students are still adults. I mean, that's the thing is you just kind of figure out, I mean, that might be if they're college, they might be more of the STEM, technical, engineering type kind of folks. I mean, in the end, it's just a thought, like you said. I mean, if nothing's really close, no stores and no lugs, is you just kind of see. I don't know. That or you just at least get together, and then at some point, maybe when you if you go to the right show, maybe someone from a lug somewhat nearby might approach you and see if you would be willing to be like a chapter or something of their lug. I mean, I don't know. That's the thing is like it's just one of those things where everybody asks. I mean, becoming a registered lug, you have to have meetings. You gotta do stuff regularly. Library shows are one of the big ones we do. Lego wants you to do a lot of your own shows. It's not just about Chicago's Brick Worlds and Brick Fairs, stuff like that. It's also about doing your own stuff. We do lots of library shows. One day, go down, set it up, sit there for a few hours, and then tear it down. Library showcases where they've got like the display cases. I just organized one down in Monroe, about 30 miles south of Madison, and we had stuff down there for about a month. Actually had two cases. I had my castle set up in the lower case, part of Hope Castle, part of Pendragon Fortress. Jefferson had some stuff, and I had a couple other guys, and Jesse had some stuff. Not Friday Jesse, but Castle Jesse from here in Wisconsin. So it's one of those things where it's just hang out where they sell the Tang. Yeah, that's yeah. That or you just need to be drinking Tang when you're walking through the Lego aisle. Make sure it's in a Lego thermos or something, I mean, there's possibilities out there. Like I said, I mean, I made the transition from CalLug to forming DENLUG, and then when I left there, I'm now in WISLUG. I mean, we move. I mean, I saw it firsthand. I mean, we had was it Chris Hembry moved close to ArcLug, joined ArcLug. Mark, you moved. Jason moved. Mark Mancuso moved. He's out in New York, out in Buffalo. He's part of a new lug. So, I mean, there's people moving. And then Zach moved from Arkansas, and he's in Springs. He's part of DENLUG now. And that was kind of something that was kind of cool because that was a connection we already had. ArcLug and DENLUG, we did the first couple years of Flug Bolt together, because we needed enough people. So working with other lugs is always kind of a key thing that really makes the community good. And going to these bigger shows is where you meet all these people from these other lugs and be like, oh yeah, I remember, yeah. So yeah, it's kind of cool. I'm sure Ralph and I made some good friends when we were down in Omaha last year too.
Yeah, met a lot of nice people there.
So it's kind of those things where just hitting different shows. I mean, a lot of the Denver folks go out to Salt Lake. I haven't been out there yet. I think in the early days when I was still in Denver, I think it was always on weekends where I had kind of weird stuff going on. I just couldn't get over there. I mean,
Well, the other thing is when you get to those shows, you get to see other building techniques and styles.
Yep.
Which is pretty cool.
Unless you build them 1x2 clear plates, and there just aren't any other styles for that, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, I don't need any clear stuff. Greens, browns, that kind of stuff, but not clear. Not so much.
Which is kind of good. I mean, that's the one thing that kind of makes my situation unique is I might not be known. Reed is not known. Hope Castle is known, but Clear Castle is known from the fact that it's unique in that standpoint. So, I mean, I myself, other than doing this show and getting the exposure that way from this show, the Castle is more, I guess, famous than I am. The Castle has its own webpage, so it just, that made sense. Which has not been updated in a while. I need to probably get to that. I can't remember the last time I updated that one. Probably should look. Let's see here. When was the last time I did a hopecastle.org for anybody who cares?
You do need to work on that, though.
April 26, 2023. So it's only been about 6 months. So that's not bad. Upcoming shows was the Brick World Chicago and the Bay Beach Amusement Park, which I didn't get to go to because Chop had to go see his cousins. So that was not. But the hopecastle.org also goes to the different YouTube channels. It'll go to Beyond the Brick, the Critical Bricks that Jesse hosts, Friday Night Bricks. I don't know where the Pink Bucket Nation takes you. Probably the Bricksmiths channel. Websites, WISLUG, DENLUG, Brothers Brick, Brickset, Bricklink, and then the convention websites, Brick World, Nebraska Brick Days, BrickCon, Brick Fair. And so that's kind of, I mean, I try to make sure that the link, and those are up near the top, under the picture of Hope Castle. The picture of Hope Castle from, I would say that looks like that was at Brick Fair, New England, 2017. Let's see. When I was at the Connecticut Lego office, they would laugh at you if you mention sets for adults. It's changing it. Yeah. Well, I mean, now it's almost too much because now it's almost too many. I can't keep up with that. I mean, now granted, they're coming out with a couple unique ones that might be kind of cool. The train looks kind of neat. Like I said, I'm not a big city guy, not a big train guy, but that train kind of looks kind of cool. The what is it? What's anyone called? I can't think of it. It's the blue one. I don't know. I can't think of it, but yeah, that one's good. Now, if it works on the regular tracks, that's cool. If it doesn't, then I don't know. The thing is, though, we've talked about this in other like I think maybe even maybe backstage or whatever we've talked about is the fact that, and this might have been Chop and I talking. This is just it's sad that they just they do all this. Perfect example. They do all this licensing stuff, which has pre-built stories. I thought Lego was all about imagination and kids making their own stories. Star Wars, pre-built story. Harry Potter, pre-built story. So you got a pre-built space stories, pre-built castle story. Well, that may be great, but in the end, I mean, when I was a kid, I like to make my own stuff. Were the skeletons good or bad? Were the knights good or bad? Were the the red spacemen good? Yellow or bad? Who what was it? I mean that's all about kind of it's that, and that's why and that's why I think that I like the fact they're starting to do a little bit in creator because they have that ability to do like the 3-in-1 castle. It's not going to have the factions as well, which you kind of have those. If you have two factions, it gives you that chance to do more. Now, I guess you do have the Vikings and you have the castle, so you have a couple mixed in through the different themes and stuff, which is nice. You need that. If you get rid of that, I mean, then you really hurt those themes. So I don't know. I mean, Star Wars. I mean, you see they kind of experiment with space a little bit through the city, which is good. City space. I mean, that's satellites, moon bases. I mean, that's technically a moon base is a city. It really is, whether it be on Mars, the moon, wherever. I was there 3 years ago. Yeah. I've been out since they let me go at the end of 2016. One of these days, the video will be out on my YouTube, my rant video at some point. Just because there are certain people who say you gotta move on. The problem is my life isn't where I was hoping it would be at this time in my life. So when I get sad, that's where I go. I go to the fact that I did nothing wrong, but Lego let me go. Absolutely nothing wrong, and they let you go. So to me, that in itself makes that division one of the most hated divisions in my life. Designers, I love those guys. I know a bunch of them. So, and the whole the systems side is fine. It's just the retail side that's kind of, and now they're moving out of Enfield, which is quite humorous too. So, actually, Juju, there is no D&D tonight. Jesse is doing in-person D&D tonight. I believe we meet next week. We'll be doing an epilogue episode. If you go to Jesse's Brick Galaxy, he does have that listed. So we'll be kind of doing, I think, our synopsis of what we've been through over the last few weeks. As far as I know, because I think we completed the quest the last time we played. So no D&D tonight. Well, I mean, and Hinkle was gone too. I mean, he was gone at the end of 17, and so, but he was in marketing, and I'm sure, and that was his lead. He was, even though he wasn't community anymore, he was still a liaison between marketing and whatnot. I'm sure he talked about that too. Yeah, better brand management. Well, maybe. I mean, we'll see. I mean, problem is they. I mean, in all their purges, they've gotten rid of a lot of really good people. I mean, how many companies can say that they've actually done a 100th store twice? Lego can. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, but their stores are all the same now. When you look at them, they're building a corporate structure very similar to Walmart, where everything in every store looks the same, smells the same, sounds the same.
Well, and that's
I think is going to kill them.
Well, and that's what the Pick-a-Brick got to be, kind of like that one, kind of even before I left, the Pick-a-Brick was becoming stale from that standpoint because, the stores I was in, we had the best Pick-a-Brick we were one of probably the top 6 stores in the country that had the best Pick-a-Brick because we put the time into it. But once they made it all generic and same stuff, and now it seems like it's changing a little bit now. But when they did that, it was kind of whatever. Now, granted, there was a lot of us kind of at one point thought they were actually going to get rid of Lego brand retail altogether and do what they do in Europe and just do it as a franchise type kind of thing. Because they had hired somebody that was in charge of that area overseas. And that's what when people were talking, enough of us talked. There were people that were still kind of within the retail chain up until the last year or two that I knew. And when we had our discussions, that was kind of one of the discussions that was made was, I think they're actually thinking of just kind of getting rid of that and just being just,
I don't.
You got to do it this way, but it's no longer, we're not going to own them anymore type kind of.
I don't see that being successful because I think they've got good examples of a failure in that already. Franchising that out the way they sell Lego to stores, not their own stores, but Walmarts and Targets and all that, and having a single point of distribution. I don't see that being successful for them.
Actually, Stud, they're probably not watching our streams anyways, but no. Enfield, Connecticut is Fantasyland. That's everybody who was outside of Fantasyland, that's what we call it. Fantasyland. That, because they would try to do something and you're like, wow, the only place this is going to work is Fantasyland. This ain't going to work in the real world. We were in probably one of the, other than the flagship stores, we were probably right below them in terms of volume and absolute craziness. And so you'd say, okay, you need to do this on, I'm like, were you testing this at like the absolute slowest store in the retail chain? Because in the busiest stores, you just can't do this. I mean, and you're going to cut our labor. I mean, you're not on Earth. I mean, you're either in Fantasyland or you're on Mars. I mean, we don't know. The gravity's probably a little lighter up there, so maybe that would work for you. But yeah. Well, yeah. Mooney's. Well, I mean, hey, Hinkle is moving in June. Make sure you talk to him in the chat. He might need some help moving. He'll be looking for people there. I mean, I don't know if he moves at the right time. Maybe I'll have to meet him in Texas or wherever he's moving to. Unless he wants to come to Wisconsin, we can be gym buddies and talk to my mom. Get some extra rooms upstairs. I'll just tell her that she's got to get rid of her crafts. And we're going to turn it into an artist studio up there in the open area. Not that go well with my siblings, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's when we talk about this stuff, we're outsiders now. I mean, some of us were insiders before, and it's kind of, I don't know. I mean, I wanted to stay with Lego, but it sounds like I actually lost. The first person I ever hired made it 10 years, which is great. I mean, my boss didn't think he'd make that long. He did have some issues here and there, but great guy. I mean, he knew Lego very well. Big kind of Ninjago fan. He knew this. He knew the hobby. Lance, right, Ralph? You remember Lance?
Oh yeah, I know Lance. I still talk to him.
So Lance knew his stuff. I mean, he made it 10 years, but I mean, towards the end, he was losing it. I knew a John. One of the guys I knew and he was in the Midwest. I mean, it just got crazy. People just couldn't handle the craziness. So yeah, yeah. So. No Swansea is the Boonies. Correction Victor is the ultimate.
And where is this piece? Oh, there it is.
Well, I mean, the end. I mean, I think people too. I mean, the reasoning we heard too is it was halfway between Boston and New York too. I think that was what people were saying. Hey, they figured halfway between, and it was right there too. I mean, yeah, I actually came out there to help move Kevin out there, and I got out there early, and I had to rent a car. And yeah, I was like, wow, okay, wow, this is where it is. Wow, okay, this is out there. I mean, this is interesting. So, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely peaceful. I mean, definitely peaceful out there. I'm sure, kind of maybe expanding a little bit, expanding everywhere in the country. Maybe not as much out there, but yeah, I mean, I've been out there a couple times, I think, and I think was out there at least to move Kevin, and then I came out there for Brick Fair New England, so I was out there twice. I was out there, twice. The company store the first time was awesome. I enjoyed that. I helped move Kevin. That was where I got my my switchovers, my double switchovers, the double cross track type thing. The double crossover.
Oh yeah, the crossover tracks.
Yeah, I mean, I got 4 of those. I mean, I'm down to 3. I have 1 sealed, 2 open, and then 1 I traded to the person who would have had my job if my boss didn't realize I busted my ass so much. Traded it for Mars Curiosity Rover, which I don't know what happened to that. I must have traded that for something else or sold it. So
yeah, the crossover track is an enigma. Would not sell when it was in the stores. Now it's $250.
What?
That double crossover track.
Yeah. Well, I mean, some people still kind of use it, but now there's all this aftermarket track. They're doing stuff. In other words, I probably just need to get rid of them at some point, or I don't know. I mean, they're cool, but
there's purists out there that will buy them.
I probably just need to put them on the right price and get rid of them. I mean, because I don't really use them. I mean, I don't think any of the guys in my lug use it, and I don't know if anybody in Denver is using them. So,
I have mine are 3D printed, so.
Oh, yeah. So some people move to that. So, but you're right. Some people might want them. I just, if I put the right price on them, they're gone, which would probably something I would not worry about. I mean, I think I did acquire a collection one time where I got some more 9-volt tracks, some more 9-volt switches and stuff. But, I mean, I think, and they had, and stuff that was a manufacturing. The one office was a manufacturing building for the longest time. When I went to visit Kevin, there were actually 2 guys that came into that building, thinking they still manufactured, and they were like, and I kind of was like, yeah, I don't think they've done that for a while here. And they kind of talked to the receptionist, and she's like, yeah, no, we don't manufacture anything here anymore. Which is kind of ironic. They're making a factory there in Virginia, so I was kind of surprised they didn't just move everything to there. I mean, if they're building a factory, why not even just wait a little bit? Factory's built, and then just move everything to one location. I mean, that to me kind of thought it made sense too. Yeah, I mean, I thought someone said at one point Hasbro or somebody was up there real close to Lego at one time too. I thought. I thought somebody said that one time. Maybe I could be wrong, but I thought somebody had said that. So, and you know, like you said, I mean, nobody knows. And back then, in the old days, it might have been something that just kind of made sense. You know, you take a ruler, you lay it down, you draw a line. You're like, oh, look, halfway. Well, what's this place called? Enfield, Connecticut? I don't know. I mean, like you said, I mean, who knows? I mean, it's all speculation unless the people were actually going to tell you why they did it. But no one would probably ever tell you why they did it. But yeah, I mean, it's nor here nor there. I mean, it's kind of wild that they're moving. I mean, like, you know, like even like Kevin said, I think I talked to him once, you know, within the last few months, and that's what he said, or he typed and said, yeah, it's kind of wild. It's just one of those things where that would, to have it be the big conversation piece because they're moving is kind of wild. Oh, Rhode Island. Well, I mean, but there might have been something. I mean, because I heard somebody had said, you know, at one point they had something there. So I mean, some kind of a toy place was, I think, close by or across the street at one point. Want to be close to, yeah, that's the thing. They want to be close to those, but they don't want to be in those. Well,
what would that really matter to them, though? I mean, Hasbro isn't really a competition for Lego.
Well, I mean, I think they use the fact of cost of living or anything, but I mean, you know, I got to believe if they're building a factory in Virginia, the cost of living in there's got to be a hell of a lot cheaper than it is on any of the places where the corporate office is moving to. But that's just me.
They can build one in Colorado Springs. I'd be happy with that.
But that, then again, I mean, there's people who can think outside the box, really think, you know, and they might have thought, I mean, hopefully those guys are doing all that, you know, guesswork and planning and seeing, is it going to be profitable? Is it going to be worthwhile? I mean, now the other thing too is once you're maybe that far into the country, it's hard to have access to the ports if you need to inspect something or see something. So. And that's, you know, I mean, that's kind of the key is it's, you know, I mean, I don't know. I mean, Kevin, if he's still here, Kevin, were you happy in Connecticut? I mean, Kevin came from Denver. I mean, Denver's a pretty big city. I mean, you know, if Kevin's out there, how different was Enfield compared to like Denver? I mean, you came from a huge city to, you know, obviously a real small one kind of type thing. I mean, how, you know, if you're out there, how was the transition for you? Did it feel like you really needed to be in a more major area? I mean, that might be just a few people talking and they just kind of twisted the arms of everybody else. Say, hey, let's freaking, you know. Well, yeah. I mean, but it sounds like taxes are real high too. Maybe they're, you know, I don't know. Who knows? I mean,
well, maybe they get a really good deal on land and some form of tax deference. Maybe.
I mean, that's how. That's the big fiasco down in southern Wisconsin where they for that circuit board company was coming to southern Wisconsin, and the governor made all kinds of stuff, and I don't think they've even hardly done anything. I mean, maybe broken ground, and it's like you hope it works for the better, you know, because you just never know. I mean. Yeah, it is very expensive too. Yeah, that's
it could be like Colorado Springs, where they have a foreign trade center, which is to entice foreign companies to come in and build and whatnot. Lego is technically a foreign company, so
yeah. I mean,
they gave them a good deal for that.
Yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of choices, like you said. I mean, it's where, yeah, I don't know, but. You know, they've been there for so long. I mean, they've been in Connecticut probably since they came to the States back in the 60s, early 70s. I mean, that's a long time. You've been there 70 years, or is it no 70?
Well, somebody knows it's not going to ever be us.
No, it doesn't matter to us. I mean, it's, you know, to me, I thought when they said they were building that factory, I was thinking, wow, well, maybe they'll move there. Granted, if the factory struggles, yeah, well, then, I mean, everybody moves, and then you're right. You could always regret it, saying we shouldn't have moved here. You know, I mean, that's always a possible. Yeah, I know Boston, I think it's supposed to happen by the end of, I thought they said something. I thought I read it somewhere as like the end of 2025, but maybe I was wrong. End of 2024. I mean, I know the factory's supposed to be coming up, I want to say next year. I thought that was supposed to be built or something. Supposed to be, I don't know. The only position I'd ever work for Lego is if I got give tours of the factory. I think I'd be a good person for that. My humor
Problem with Lego factories is they have gone so high tech. There are actually very few jobs in those factories.
Well, I'm guessing that's probably it. It's real.
I mean, they
robotic.
use robots to pull the product out of the molding machines. They use other robots to deliver stuff to the machine so it can produce.
I guess it would just depend on how much of the packing is automated, I guess, and all that stuff. But
From what I've seen, the majority of the packing is automated. They've got videos online of a couple of their newer factories.
So in the end, it's one of those things where you'll have engineers. You'll have to have engineers on staff to work with machines, machine techs, and all that stuff. So you'll still have those guys. Unfortunately, I don't think robots are going to be. They probably eventually will be able to, but just like anything else, it'd be great. Your mold machine breaks down. Your robot, while fixing the mold machine, breaks down, and there's nobody to do anything with either one of them. That'd be the ultimate. Kind of interesting. Connecticut office opened in 75. Enfield is basically Massachusetts, last town on the line. They should have. Yeah. It's always been in Boston. Well, the other thing too is, like you said, Ralph said, it's a European country. So if they didn't, if they came and just kind of made a quick decision, who knows? Like
they could be getting a heck of a tax break to build there.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Every state, every county, they're always trying to do something to get people to build there. Look at the Epic out here in our Verona area. That freaking thing's huge.
The other possibility is that since they're so highly automated, what companies are in that area that would support their automation, their manufacturing automation? That would make a huge difference from a cost standpoint.
Yeah. And if you're building a huge factory too, land is a critical thing, and hopefully with what we've seen with the way, just storms have been, hopefully they're building somewhere nice and high, elevated, not down in these valleys that, have experienced crazy flooding and stuff. So, Well, yeah, but the thing is, though, better. Let's hope they're better common sense, better intelligence. Better employees just as a whole. Hey, they got rid of a lot of really good employees in the retail division. I love my job. I was great at my job.
All right, I'll be right back. I need to take a quick break.
That's fine. So in the end, it's kind of those things where maybe I was right in that realm where they were really trying to get rid of AFOLs. Maybe I was making too much money. Who knows? I know my old boss had said at one point that they did seem like they were hiring a lot of people in the retail division at much lower rates, especially at manager and ASM levels. So maybe I was making too much money, which, I understand that. That's fine. At what point do companies get smart enough to at least approach an employee and kind of say, plus, they had to make me hourly. That, I don't know, something happened and they made me an hourly employee. So they lost 10 to 20 hours a week by doing that. Had they come and approached me and said, hey, we got to make you hourly, but we can write something up if you want to opt out of that. And I said, where do I sign? I don't want to be hourly. I busted my butt to get to salary. Yeah, you'll get 50 to 60 hours a week, every week, guaranteed if you make me salary. Hourly, yeah, you get 40 because that's all I can get you, because otherwise you got to pay me OT. So, in the end, they lost a lot by doing that to, for the people that really were dedicated, really enjoyed their job, and really were putting a lot of hours. I put in a lot during the holiday season because our goal was to get shipments done and stuff up to our storage. Now, I don't think they have that anymore. But in the old days, yeah, I organized storage for hours, going into, after shipment days, just to make sure it was all in one place, because the goal is just get it up there, get it on the shelves, come down. We'll figure it out later. So. Well, but the thing is, just like anything else, if you read that article on Yahoo, what was it, like 3 weeks ago, a month ago, where that the woman, first job ever, and she's commuting into New York City from wherever she's at, 2-hour commute, whining about the fact that, she's got that commute both ways and blah, 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 blah. It's like, you know what? I mean, it's still going to be an issue, even if you're in Boston, because if people can't afford to live in Boston, you might get people there. But I mean, is Lego going to be able to pay enough to get those employees too? That's the other thing, is everything comes down to, can you afford it? Can you afford the housing? Can you afford living? Is it, you're going to have to commute? I mean, there's all that stuff in everything you do. I mean, trust me, I'm on the roads early in the morning on my delivery jobs, and the roads are packed going every direction, in and out of Madison and all over the place. I mean, it's just, there are tons of people commuting because you just can't. Housing is such a whack job in this country to the point where you can't just move easily, from, 2 hours away to right in the city, because you just can't. Either the housing is too expensive, or it just, the process doing it is tough. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, yeah, I'm living with my mom, but I'd be working 2 jobs or something if I had to be on my own. I mean, but then again, hopefully I would have enough space for my Lego collection and all that. So that's kind of the kicker, is it's finding a happy medium for all that stuff. If they could make artist studios type thing, like a storage with, housing above it, I'd be on it in a heartbeat. If it was affordable, I'd be like, yeah, just, just so long as whatever the downstairs is still got, nominal heat and nominal cooling. Yeah, I'm game. That's what I need. I don't need, a fancy place where it's going to be, I mean, the place I lived in Colorado, needed a lot of work. I mean, the carpet was, whenever Sears did padding for carpet was when they installed the padding in my apartment. So probably the 70s, probably. Way matted down. The stoves and the oven were yellow from the 70s. I mean, I had rainbow tiled tile on the bathroom when I peeled back carpet and stuff. So yeah, I mean, it was really old. I mean, but it did what I needed to do, and it, Kevin had seen it. He knew how packed it was. It was at 700 square feet. It was packed. Lego in every room, lots of shelves. I had an unattached garage that had all my other stuff, and a lot of that stuff got thrown out. Some of my boxes, I think I threw them out. It made me mad. I threw out my faux boxes, like the fake boxes for like the Eiffel Tower and the Death Star that were in the stores that they got rid of at one point. So, but the problem was they took my build instructions for the Death Star, or I might have had a Death Star box that was like the one from when we did grand opening or whatever, but it had the instructions in it. So when I threw that away, I threw away unknowingly a set of Death Star instructions, 10188, and I was kind of like, because I went looking, I'm like, oh, I threw those away. I was like, and it kind of, I mean, I still have a Death Star seal, but yeah, it was kind of, I have a Superstar Destroyer set of instructions I got from when we remodeled the store. Well, I mean, I think it's taxes and a lot of everything. I mean, but I mean, I once he was let go from Lego, he wanted to be back to Texas. I mean, it probably had nothing to do with basically just the fact that the state. It just, when there's nothing there, when you're not there for anything, you want to get back to where you like. In Texas, he's from Texas, so he'd want to be back near all his family and stuff. He didn't have a job that was keeping him in Connecticut anymore. He wanted to get out of there. Yes, taxes, I'm sure, played a part. I mean, I don't know. I mean, he could tell you. I don't know if he's still listening, but, and that's kind of the kicker, is he's probably drawing. He's probably working, so he's probably listening to us. But, that's kind of thing as anything. I mean, when you have a job, that's why I moved out of Colorado. I mean, my mom said, hey, come here, and I got back here, and I was pretty much offered a job almost right away. And I was like, yeah. So, I mean, otherwise, I mean, I could have probably there was an opportunity to stay in Colorado at one point, but didn't connect with the guy that had a job early 2018. Otherwise, I probably would still be there. I mean, I liked Colorado. I have lots of friends there. Ralph is there. So it's just, when you don't have anything that's really, I would say when Lego just kind of let him go too, it was like, well, Connecticut's, I came to Connecticut for one thing and one thing only, and that was Lego. So once Lego no longer had Lego, leave. His wife had a job and stuff and going to school and his kids and stuff. So, I mean, that's kind of the reason he stayed. Yeah, yeah, that's the thing. I mean, if you don't have anything, then that, and I mean, technically, Lego could have said that the minute they closed down their manufacturing part of that plant back then and moved to Boston, then when they no longer had the trucking artery or whatever they had that wherever they were at made sense. Like I said, they could have moved to Boston then, which was probably way back when. I mean, whenever they stopped, 80s, 90s, whenever they stopped manufacturing, whenever it was. I don't know when it was. I don't know when they stopped in the U.S., but yeah. I mean, but people still will live in those places if it's cheap enough to where they can commute to wherever, and that's kind of. Or people were living in Massachusetts, commuting to Enfield, or living, wherever. Because I know there was a couple people I knew. There was one person I knew at one point that was working for Lego, but she was living in Massachusetts. So, like you said, it's close to the border. So, I mean, people might have been living up there and just commuting. People do that. I mean, Ralph used to commute from his beautiful mountain estate into Colorado Springs. That must have been always a lovely drive back in the day.
Yep, don't do that anymore. Still have a couple hour drive to the closest Lego store, but
well, I don't know if they build one up there. They probably should. I think your area could support one, don't you think? You could support it.
I could support it, yeah. My wife would not be happy about that, but I probably could.
Yeah, honey, I'm getting a part-time job at the new Lego store in town.
Yeah.
They can make it rustic, make it a little old Western type, rustic type Lego store.
I mean, we do have the bricks and minifigs now, but
yeah, I mean that would probably survive somewhere up in that mountain area. I'm sure at some point somebody might,
I kind of expect a second one to get built at some point.
Where's the closest one? The Springs?
Closest one right now is in the Springs. And it just opened last year. But with so many people in Colorado Springs buying and selling Lego, I think they can support a second one. I certainly know that they can support one in Pueblo. So I figure at some point, city of Pueblo will have one, and then I'll have a couple of choices to go to.
That would make sense. Pueblo's far enough south. That would probably be.
It is. I mean, there is already a bricks and minifig store in Albuquerque.
How much farther south is that from Pueblo? Isn't that still a couple hours?
It's about 4 hours.
About 4 hours. Oh, well, yeah. Then.
Yeah.
Well, see, if Lego keeps building stores so you don't have to travel, bricks and minifigs miles to keep doing that too. The hell, it seems like the way to go, right?
Well, we'll see. Maybe in time they'll open it.
It's still nice to go to those stores. I go to the one here. There's one here in town. I mean, that's where I'll go, but I don't buy a lot. And like I said, I bought a few of the animals from one of the guys at the buy sell trade just because he had some of the baby. I think the baby cows and the baby elephants. So I bought a few things, but
the problem that I have right now is that anytime I find something I want on the pab wall, I have to figure out how I'm going to get there. And typically it's going to be 4 to 5 days after I find out it's there. And that's usually a day after they sell out.
Well, that's where you gotta talk to Ralph or somebody and say, hey, can you got to get Ralph on the hotline. Be like, Ralph, or you got to get Larry on the hotline. Say, Larry, I need a cup of this or something. Because I think he probably lives close to the store. So the only reason I'd probably go to like some of the stores too is if I could find like more stuff that would be, cool for the stuff I work on. But finding like the trumpets was kind of wild. I couldn't believe I saw those. But the guy had like a bin of accessories, and a lot of it was chrome stuff. And I saw those, like, wow. I was gonna buy try and see if he could sell me just the accessories for the price of the figs. Like, well, I'll just buy the figs too, and just be done with it. Then I'll have to, deal with that.
I don't generally buy the Build-A-Minifigs unless it's Halloween or Christmas, because then I just want the special parts.
Yeah, well, I've been to the store. I've seen that. The one guy that I got the animals from had some of those, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm not super thrilled right now for all that stuff. I mean, I got the Wizards when I needed them. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, the corporate part probably is. I mean, in the end, it's one of those things where, I mean, they've probably gotten rid of all their really good, the really the really dedicated employees, the ones that are actually diehard Lego employees, are probably all gone anyways. I mean, they're just getting whatever. People just want a job. I mean, I don't know how many left they still have that are true diehards in the company. I mean,
the Lego stores up in Denver, I kind of feel that they're hiring people off the street.
Yeah, I mean,
there's not a lot of buy-in with those folks when it comes to their Lego knowledge is poor. They don't always know what sets they have on the shelf. I'm just not impressed at times.
And like Stud said, they'll get better employees. They're not going to get better Lego knowledge employees. They're going to get just better, just your better average corporate employee. I mean, the difference is the ones, the ones that really made that company a lot real special when I first started was the fact that they had a lot of knowledge. Like the guy running Pick-a-Brick, phenomenal. I mean, he's a lawyer now. I think he's actually the assistant DA in Connecticut. So, but he was going to law school when he was working for Lego. But he knew his stuff backwards and forwards. I mean, if I had a question about that, I'm sure he had a spreadsheet or something. It was key. After he left, it started to slide. I mean, and it's just one of those things where each person cares a little bit more or a little bit differently about what they do and how they do their job. And I mean,
well, they don't have buy-in. I mean, they don't really, they don't know the product because they're not really building with it. I suspect occasionally they're hiring people who've never even built with Lego because I've been in those stores not as often as I used to be. And I'm just not impressed with the staff ever. Yeah. If you ask them if there's something in the back that they don't have on the Pick-a-Brick wall, they're going to shoot you down. They're just going to say, no, we can only sell what's out front. So they don't really even try to work in some cases. And I've seen some stand around with their hands in their pockets and they're not doing anything.
Yeah, it's one of those things where that comes down to management too. I mean, it just might not be managed very well within the store, and that's kind of, and it's sad to see because there are a lot of people that really enjoy the product and love. I mean, you're right, or they're avoiding AFOLs because they're out for the discount. Well, you know what? I mean, if they want to do that with me, I said, you know what? That's fine. You want to pick that bone? That's fine with me. You know what? I do. I have a lot of Lego. Am I selling it now? Little bits because it pays for my hobby. I'm not making as much money as I had Lego. I don't have the bonuses like I used to get. I don't have the discount I used to have, which really helped pay for a lot of the Lego I bought. But I donated a lot. I mean, I knew kids who came from Colorado. I donated a lot. Maybe Lego didn't like the fact that I was donating, without going through their corporate donation stuff. I mean, who knows? I mean, I never found out, never will. But in my book, it's all on their management team because I did nothing wrong. I know of nothing that I did wrong. But I mean, in the end, I love donating. So I use my discount to donate to Trevor and Taylor and Justin.
Yeah.
I mean, donated in memory of Jim, who passed away, who was an AFOL, so in the end, it's one of those things where, I had the discount was awesome. I bought a lot more Lego there then than I do now. They've changed certain things, the seasonal little sets. Once they stopped doing the minifigure ones, that saved me $300 a year because I didn't buy any of the seasonal sets. I didn't want a brick head and a brick belt. I wanted if it was brick built and minifig. If they'd done brick heads and minifig, I would have kept buying them. I wanted a minifig every other year. I wanted that minifigure seasonal set every other year. Possible that maybe all the brains were gone after 2017 until Stud came in, but that was too late. I mean, by then they already had killed it anyways. So,
no, I just think part of the problem is that they are.
I know. No. Lego. Kevin moving anywhere would have been back to Texas. Kevin would never have moved to Boston ever in a million years. He'd have moved to Texas if he could have moved because his wife was going to school and stuff. If he could have moved to Texas at the end of 2017, he'd have been gone. He was signed leases and he got stuck with all kinds of stuff. But, I was there. I mean, there isn't much there, but in the end, if I was working there, I would figure out what to do. Right? I would make friends. I would travel a little bit more. I
have to say, I've only driven.
Kind of the thing is, I guarantee it. If that part of Connecticut sucks and there aren't that many people living there, then all the employees are commuting from somewhere that's better. You know, I mean, if the place where work is sucks, I mean, but where you live is great. I mean, who cares what work's like? Because you're going to leave work eventually and go home. I mean, that's kind of the thing, is that's what the work-life balance is all about. But you're right. If you've got a 2-hour commute home and a 2-hour commute in, you're right. That's going to suck, you know, and in the end.
That gets old very fast. I know. I did it for a number of years for a software company. Granted, the money was great, but at the end of the day, I've got a car with 180,000 miles on it. Health issues from it. And essentially, I lost about 3.5 hours of my life every day. And you got to at some point go, no, I want my life back.
I mean, you know, I mean, in the end, I mean, it's kind of things where, well, now they won't commute anymore. I mean, if those are the people that commuted it, because I mean, it sounded like they were laying off a lot of people. So, I mean, they all obviously couldn't have been from there, because I mean, they made it sound like they were going to lay off a lot of people. So there must have been some people living close to that, or it could have been the customer service people could have been living close, whereas the executives all could have been living, you know, like you said, Boston, New York, whatever. Who knows?
Yeah, we're never going to know what came about with their decision process on that.
Yeah. It's, you know, I mean, nobody will know, and nobody, I mean, in the end, we really won't care. I mean, you know, in the end, it's kind of just, some of the parts of it are just kind of dying anyway. So in the end, it's just, you know, as long as Pick-a-Brick stays good, I could care less about the rest of it. I mean, I'm building MOCs anyways. The sets really won't do me any good. And they aren't going to come out with any Chima figs anytime soon, even though it'd be cool. Some people suggested it.
Yeah, it's kind of opened a new round of Ninjago with all the weird rumors going on that there would be some kind of Ninjago / Chima merge. But looking at the figures that are coming out for the next series of Ninjago, there's nothing in there that says Chima's coming with it.
Well, that people made the rumors based on what, like, some of the animal type figs that look like they're coming up in Ninjago, maybe thought that not so much a Chima merge, but kind of something that kind of thinking, okay, they're gonna maybe do Chima like characters in the new Ninjago, which I mean.
Well, it would have been nice to see a few characters come out. I mean, it's not a stretch. They've got the snakes in there. Easily have a snake tribe in Chima.
Could, yeah.
But the storylines are not anywhere close. So,
yep. So I don't care where they move to. I mean, I basically what I would say is I'm fighting for all the people that don't want it to move. So, you know, I guess, I mean, to me, I don't really care. Enfield has been notorious for Lego, you know, synonymous with Lego forever. I mean, we can learn a new city. It ain't going to matter. It really doesn't do anything for anybody. I mean, really, nobody else is going to care other than the people who maybe don't want to go to those areas, or maybe don't want to drive into those areas. Who knows? I don't know. I don't care. I just want good Pick-a-Brick, and one of these days I want them to bring 1x2 clear plates back to the Pick-a-Brick wall, so I can increase my collection from 125,000 and maybe
to 200,000.
Maybe a $250,000. Has a good, nice round number. How many 1x2 clear plates you got? Oh, I got $250,000. Yeah, that sounds nice. It's got a nice thing to it.
The word will be it's got more than Lego does.
Probably not more than they produce. I can't believe I ordered it all from the stuff. Might be, well, I think people used it for buildings and stuff. You know, Rocco probably used it for a lot of his skyscrapers. I think people building micro scale probably use it a lot. Why not use snakes as a Chima army now? Well, I mean, could snakes better get them? Better get them on release day, because I mean those damn things go up in value pretty quick. I mean, I got a couple that I got in that last collection lot with chewed tails and stuff, and that's like a $20-$30 tail a dog or a kid chewed on.
Yeah, like, those new Ninjago figures are just too expensive. So Army build with them. They don't really have any battle packs.
Yeah. No, I don't care. I mean, I yeah. Hopefully it'll be better for the company. Hopefully it'll be better, and they just will quit sliding the way they're sliding. Because I mean, just to me, I just think they're sliding downhill. So I mean, they seem like they're going way, almost kind of getting close to going the way of like Sears and some of these other places that no longer exist. So at least
they're very much going the way of every store is going to be the same as the next store. So there's no imagination in how to run these stores. I mean, you're at the point now, if you have like we have 2 stores in Denver, pretty much what's on the Pick-a-Brick wall is the same in both stores. So you don't really have to shop at 2 stores. You can shop at the closest one too. When I used to drive up to Denver, I would hit both stores. Mark remembers that. We would make a day of it. We would hit both stores and see what was different at the stores. Now the stores are essentially the same.
Well, you can make elite battle units. Hey,
yeah,
more the merrier. I mean, trust me. Like I say, when I organize these collabs, anybody who gets in here and talks and wants to be part of it, hey, the more the merrier. I mean, basically, I mean, we'll always have room for like elite battle units that are just plopped down in the layout and stuff. I mean, I have no problems with that. I mean, it's just a matter of planning who wants to build. You know, like Michael's never really, other than the castle built last year, never really had. He was always big into the army stuff, not so much a lot of the building stuff. He had a few. I think his even Napoleonic battle had a few buildings, a few small ones. But in the end, I mean, other than when he built the castle last year, he didn't really have much. He had a lot of sieging. He was sieging my castle a lot all the time. But yeah, I mean, Chop built stuff, as you can, you can't really see because it's my OBS has the Chicago one kind of in the area. So we built stuff there. I had the castle, I had the dance floor, I had Pendragon Fortress. He had a Lion Temple, his Pyroclastic Castle, and his Eagle Spire. So he had, we had some good stuff here. I mean, we didn't leave a lot of room for battle, like parade grounds, which is kind of funny. Ralph and I didn't either in Omaha.
Yeah, which was weird because we brought a lot of figures there. We couldn't put them all out because there was no place for a battle at all. Not even a place to really stage all the troops that we had.
Yeah. So that's kind of the thing is we both have huge armies. And Michael's actually here in the blue back here. He's actually a big army guy, and he's got a lot. Well, you can't even see the mouse back there. That kind of sucks. I need the John Madden stuff where I can draw the lines and say, yeah, this is him here back in the blue. But Michael's back there. He's got like huge armies of stuff. I don't know where Butt Chop is. He's somewhere. I just saw him last weekend, so I know he's around. But, he's kind of been up and down lately. He's definitely, life is just kind of, life for everybody's kind of been a little bit up in the air these days. Everybody's kind of struggling with their own stuff. So, but, I saw him last week. It was pretty cool. So, yeah. But he had the Eagle Spire. He still got that built. But he'll probably dismantle that to build whatever he's going to build underneath, I'm guessing. But yeah, it's
really hoping to see that Eagle Spire, but I figure if he doesn't have it apart already, he'll have it apart pretty soon.
Maybe. He's got it. He's got a lot of stuff. So, in the end, who knows what'll happen? But I'm guessing, yeah, unless he uses that as a pillar underneath, and the Eagle Spire might still stay together. Who knows? The Spire
that library is pretty cool. It would be awesome if it stayed together.
So yeah, so we had some stuff. I probably am going to take apart Pendragon, and I was trying to figure out for size how much you needed for the train show. So the fortress might come apart. I was thinking I was going to have it for the train show, but I probably won't. And I'm trying to think if I need it for anything else. That's the problem. Is there's a lot of gray in there, and that's I'm kind of trying to think. I probably could use a lot of that gray that's in there for some of the stuff I'm working with. Oh, where's Butt Chop? So here we go. Where's Butt Chop? Butt Chop is dead.
He is dead. Yeah, I'm not buying that.
Yeah, stud, I did. Yep. I picked up Chop on the way up, so that's how I know. Yep. So I did. Yep. So yeah. Chop lives on the way, so I picked him up the last 2 buy-sell trades. We get a chance to talk. We get a chance to plan. He's one of my castle guys. Him and Ralph and Michael here in the picture. Jefferson and Castle Jesse, and so yeah, we've got it's a good sized group we've got of guys that are all doing the castle stuff. So Jesse, last time he was at Chicago, did win the best medieval building 2019. So do look forward to having him partake again. He definitely sounds like he is on board for what we are thinking about. Oh, Brett's Built is here. Welcome, Brett. Or he's been here and lurking.
Brett's Built.
He's too busy buying.
Hey, Butt Chop, what are you building for Chicago?
I kind of tried to tell him, but you can explain it much better as a true. A cob is a cream. Oh, okay. Yep. And there we go. Okay, so he's not dead. He's okay. So we need to make sure. I mean, let's see here. Where does it say he's? So obviously he's not that, but he's okay. So
okay is a good place to be. It could be worse.
Chop knows my sarcasm. So yep. So Chop can be sarcastic too. Trust me. I've seen it in person, live, in person, on stage. I mean, he needs to do pay-per-view one of these days. I don't know. I don't know.
My city train is having trouble with the curves. I'm going to have to see what's going on with that.
Let's see here. Actually, I can open the other browser. Are you getting the emails, or do I have to do through the Insta? Let's see here. I'm hoping everything is going well over in the 72 in the 24-hour live stream.
24-hour live stream? What am I missing?
Creations for Charity.
That's what I'm missing.
Yeah, they do it every year. I haven't been on there in a while, but it's been a few years since I've been on the show in the panel. So, I don't know. I mean, he only had 6 earlier, so I wonder if he has the 6 package or if he's got 8 or 10 or what. I don't know. I haven't looked over there yet, so I don't know. And I just closed my other browser. Chop said he had a good Thanksgiving, which is good.
Excellent.
It's good. So, kind of slower than usual, guys. And I'm guessing with the fact that Larry has been doing DoorDash, I'm guessing he's probably not coming back. Not unless Kevin comes back. If Kevin comes back, we'll force Larry to come on wherever he may be at. I'm guessing Kevin is probably lurking somewhere still too, getting work done, which is usually a good thing. He does. If everybody doesn't know, he is having a big sale this weekend. I think he's going to no longer front load a lot of his designs and stuff. So anything you like that he has on his website, you might want to get. He is not going to reload any of those. Figured I'd put that out there. I know he's been posting on some of the social medias recently. To me, I mean, he used to send the stickers, but it'd be better off if you send them to someone else, just because I don't really use them. He doesn't draw Lego Chima or anything, so no ice bears. He hasn't drawn Chester in a while, so a line of rabid squirrels would be kind of cool. I don't know how well they would sell, but maybe I need to donate and get a rabid Chester.
A rabid Chester?
Well, we have a hunky Chester, and I have myself riding a Chester, so maybe we need a rabid Chester.
Maybe it just needs to be Chester and his girlfriend.
Chester and Dorothy could be.
Yeah.
Stud. I'm trying. I'm sure Chop is in the process of trying to get everything loaded and ready to go, and so when he's ready to jump on. So your train is having trouble on curves?
Yeah, I finally found. I think if you remember, I have like 10 of these, and I finally got one. Found one. So I'm trying to run one of the trains around, and every once in a while it's struggling.
And it's power function. I would say just no elevation changes, no weird separations of track.
No, I figure that one of the wheels is probably out of alignment because these are the new motors with the axle pieces.
Oh, okay.
And they will every once in a while slip inwards, which will cause them not to get not to make good contact with the track. So they make a lot of noise.
Yeah. So,
That.
I mean, and I have some of those. I think I bought 5 of the power function train motors right before they retired them. So I have 5 somewhere in my collection. I lost them, then found them, and then they're probably one of my bins of all my power function stuff. Because I mean, the one thing I wish I wouldn't have traded away was I traded away my servo motor to Tanya, and I think I'm going to have to order one of those cheaper ones. So I've got it just in case I need a servo motor for spinning a paddle or whatever I do on my boats. I'm probably going to need a servo for that, or maybe you should just get a couple of them just in case I try to do any kind of motorized.
Well, if you're going to use it on a boat, I would suggest one of the cheap Chinese knockoffs because those servo motors are expensive if you go with the Legond brand.
Yeah, they are. I already looked. I mean, I a couple of the people I think have talked about those other brands. I just got to figure out which one. I think one of the guys in our group uses some of those, so I just need to figure out which ones to use.
Some of them are actually pretty decent. Not all.
Actually, I want to almost pick up the old RC car one, the one that I think Sean had them. It was like the long one, but that's in the RC car that just hauled. I mean, I never got to really try it, see how well it would work on a boat. But if I'm using those aftermarket ones, it might be worth trying to see how well it works. Because they're not. I don't think they're as expensive as the real Lego ones. But because I mean, the torque axle would be good versus the speed. Speed wouldn't be good if like you said, if you're racing the car on concrete, a car. But a boat needs the torque one. That's what something definitely Jeremy always taught us. So you definitely want the torque.
I know there's a knockoff version of that, but I've never bought one to try it out.
Yeah, I need to do that. I mean, I didn't sell a lot during the buy sell trade, so I need to go and I need to put my stuff on Facebook Marketplace again. I had a couple people bidding or looking at stuff before I went to there, and I haven't heard from these guys. I need to figure out if they're still interested. Come up to holiday time. I mean, if I relist it, I'm not going to be holding stuff for anybody. It's going to be like, hey, if we had previous, it's done now. I mean, you need to reach out because it's kind of those things where I mean, if I've got it up there, I don't mind selling it. And that's kind of the kicker. I still haven't been able to make any contact with my friend John at all, just to see truly what's going on. I mean, can I just liquidate all these cities? I mean, in the end, I mean, it would make for a really good 72-hour auction live stream, the auction bar live stream. If I'm selling a ton of the city sets, they'd be like, oh. Well,
and then we could have the 72-hour follow-up show of watching you mail all that stuff out.
It'd probably only go to a few people, like B for C, Hoosier. There'll only be probably a couple of people that buy it all. And there's Chop. Chop said his new table that I saw. Just envision me standing in front of those Chima poster there to the left of them over his shoulder, going, "Hey, how's it going, guys?"
Hey, Chop.
Yep. I think my head blocked that probably when the time we jumped on that
back. It was just the backstage.
Yeah. Well, that's right. Because Hoosiers hunting. So. Oh yeah, there you go.
Yep.
Chop, it's good to see you. And I think I know that helicopter.
Yeah, I tried to steal one at the buy sell trade.
Yeah, there was one sealed. Yep. Scott's got one.
I've got Reed saw one of mine. Yep. I motorized one from Nebraska. I now have 3 of them motorized with LED lights as well.
The last time I showed it to someone, I accidentally hit the thing that releases the lion.
Yeah.
And it dropped on the ground and exploded. I was so not happy.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Yeah, I don't have the lions on mine anymore. I modified the Star Wars Marauder set, and the choppers carry those now.
Yeah, well, you could have just too turned it into a croc vehicle.
I'm working on that. I am planning to start changing out some of the gray pieces with olive pieces.
Yeah,
And try to put a little bit of a snoot on it so that it looks like a crocodile.
I don't even know what about it.
However, right now, money and parts have a problem. There's just not enough money for parts anymore.
Oh, he's
Oh,
dropped.
I just dropped the helicopter part.
The helicopter stays together pretty good.
He'll just fly away.
Yeah, mine's modified. I like covered up a lot of the Technic arms and stuff. Well, you could even just turn this into a croc thing.
I
Put
did
a croc
start
head on the front.
but I just never got around to finishing it. Because you can definitely modify that lion's head to make it more look like a croc head.
Yeah.
I don't think I have the one I was working on out right now. No, I don't see it over there.
Well, I just dropped the lion thing. Oh,
Dropping
Again?
stuff again. Those lions are trying to escape. Better watch it. They're gonna escape. They're gonna run.
I broke the piece off. I don't know where from the actual, because mine has like tons more like plates and like cheese slopes covering up everything.
Yeah.
Like I kind of fleshed it out. So there's
I did the same thing. I put a back on it, but that piece that you use to move the blades, the rotor blades, I actually took all of that off and then gave them a smooth back because I installed a little XL motor up towards the front to turn the blades.
Oh, cool.
So I didn't need that weird sliding piece anymore to make the blades move.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately, if you don't pay attention to it, eventually it shakes itself apart.
Oh.
But
it's motor?
It lasted pretty well at Nebraska. The one that I had at Nebraska.
Yeah, it's the motor constantly. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, I don't know where everything went, but my lines are exploding. So, oh wow, it's over here. Here. Hey.
Yep.
It exploded. So hold on, I'm rebuilding.
That's all right. They're in the house somewhere. You'll find them.
Yeah, they rolled somewhere and an ice bear is holding them hostage. So
Probably.
they ransom later on.
My ice bear mech, that's over on the shelf. I love that ice bear mech. I found almost everything except for one piece, so I'll call that good. I'll get this out of here before I break it more. I don't want to touch the Lego.
That's okay. Ralph will take it broken. He'll be able to use it.
Hey, if it's olive green and I can make it a crocodile vehicle, I'll take it.
You can make anything a crocodile vehicle. My black flag mohawk, yeah, it's just I don't know if it's necessarily officially black flag. Yeah, the silver. I have a silver fox. Yeah, I have all my hair is white and gray. But too bad there's no ladies looking for that. The silver foxes.
Yeah.
Well, a silver Lego fox.
There you go. Silver Lego fox.
Me about what I was doing. Well, I actually had it started, Ralph, and I kind of stopped because I didn't have. I didn't know how tall, but I have two So for 48 by 48, this was going to be the back half, and then another one in front of it. And this was going to be Spindlin's Cavern. So now I guess he said like 14 inches high. Building the whole cave, I wanted it to be a big open cave. So like 14 inches high from the top of the mills, Reed?
Just 14 total from the bottom of the base plate up. Yeah. So yeah. Well,
like
yeah. I
basically
mean,
a little higher. This is 12 inches. So
well, I was
I
thinking
was
of maybe
building the back. What?
So mine. Well, I was thinking I would maybe do it. I was thinking for mine just because that's so high is maybe doing it in level, like levels, so that it would be. So like the bottom level could be, whatever, like so many bricks, and then there would be a middle and a top. Just for me, because I want to do some like maybe the jail cells on the upper level, and then maybe some exploring on the middle level, maybe the mine, and then the bottom would be the maybe like the actual like cavern.
So is this going to be on the lower table or?
Yeah,
Lower.
my stuff is underground. I was planning on doing all underground stuff, nothing above. So I want to have this. So what I was gonna do is I need to get more Duplo, but I was gonna have a big wide back part and then a rock face on this. So basically coming up and then arching up to the top where
Okay.
everything's gonna sit on there. And there's gonna be, I don't know, a wall on each side, like sturdy wall. And then I was gonna have in between this a non-sturdy or like a wall where the power miners are breaking through. So Spindlin's gonna have a huge like UCS cavern. It's hard to show from this, but I have two Spindlin sets, and I wanted to do a huge spider, bat, scorpion area from the second season.
That spider is huge. You gonna have enough room for two of them in there? No Spindlin spider?
Well, it's just gonna have one Spindlin, but it's gonna no. This thing's gonna be this tall and two 48s deep. Well, except for this back wall.
All right.
It's gonna be rock. I wanted the back wall to be like the main support or whatever, but I wanted it to be super open so you could see in.
Yeah. It'll be the lower tail will be 30 inches deep. The upper tail will be 30 inches deep. But I mean, technically, if you're going across the lower table, you have 60 inches all the way back on the top. So that's the goal right now. I just need to see how much everybody's got. He's got 30 inches wide. 30 inches wide, 30 inches deep for his Spindlins. I'm at 20 inches wide and probably 60 inches deep. I'll probably do all of mine under and above. Then I'll probably build a new castle.
So at some point we need to have that planning meeting and look at the tables.
Yeah, and just see how much everybody wants. I need to talk to Jesse. Actually, you know what? Maybe I wonder what time
because
is it?
one of my two sets of 48s was gonna be a crazy like Lavatraz from Power Miners, and they were gonna be they were gonna be exploring now that they have the lava rock monster captive and all the and then accidentally coming across the bat, spiders, and scorpions to an unfortunate discovery of adventure because they're not equipped to fight Chima, scorpions, spiders, and bats. They're like used to fighting rock monsters.
From Larry, all that pie talk.
Yeah, but Larry's not delivering to us. So if he's not delivering, we don't want to talk to him.
Well, he wants to see my blog building. I don't know what it is. Oh. I'm going to read the Subsidious Read side in person. Let me see if I put that together.
Nothing is ever hideous that you build, Chuck. You should know that. Dealing with me, though, on the other hand, that can be hideous.
Oh, that went. Oh, it went together. Okay. Yeah, this is it, Sidious. All recolored now
I like it.
with the black. I really like the back door. Something's gonna go on those studs showing, but yeah, the whole point of this was to mix round curvatures. Like those are the curved bricks going the opposite way, so it like curves out, in, out, and then it was just to try to mix square and rounded angles on a building. You know what I mean? I just like to
Yeah.
use crazy. Basically, a lot of times it's just to try out building techniques with different shapes and stuff.
Well, yeah, that's why I
Window.
build every set that I buy is so that I can see what the designers had in mind when they put it together. It's the only way to learn.
Right. And that's what I do is I just try to like how would this work? All right,
Yeah.
I'm gonna try it. And I end up building and building on it. 'Cause I want to try something.
And just like Stud said, I like your black and red color scheme. That's pretty cool.
Like just like this, I wanted to see what it would look like if I used all those bricks for like the garage. And I wanted to do like it's just a little building, but it's
Yeah.
it looks cool, especially in person. Plus, I used those corner slopes that are flat on the edge instead of pointed.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's all just me messing around.
That's how you learn how to do what you're doing and do cool stuff. Because you're right, you won't know. You can always take it apart, as long as you're not playing with
It's
Craig.
easier for me to do stuff like that, like just messing around, than to just to try to purposely build something that I wanted to build. Like I should do my MOCs for like Chicago, like I'm just messing around.
Yeah,
Because when I'm just messing around, I don't have any.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Mine is on my like third revision already. I've been messing with it a couple times. It's like it's never perfect until you think it's perfect. So,
Yeah, I
might
just
not
can't have. If I have preconceived notions, then I tend to fail.
Well, that's why I kind of tried to sketch some of it. I just grabbed a piece of paper and tried to sketch a little bit of what I want to, just to kind of give me an idea of what I want to try to do. Because in the end, I mean, yes, I'm kind of the organizer, but I can organize it, but whatever you guys build is what makes it great. I mean, like I said, I used to do the castle by myself, but it's just no fun. I mean, it's fun showing everybody what we as a group will do and how we display, our love for the different, for Chima and armies and all the stuff. That's why it's fun to do stuff with people. And then we just decide, do we want the black lights again? I mean, it depends on what we build, what will we want, what we
not. Well, now this is my Lavatros is completely smashed now. I have to refigure that out. Oh, I needed you to bring me those gates, Reed.
Oh, I'll get those to you.
No, that's okay. I'll do it without.
Do it without, and then at some point,
it was supposed to go deeper, but what I'm going to do is make this side deeper, or this thing really deep. They're like, I don't know.
Well, just let me know, because if nothing else, who knows? Maybe I'll see somebody that's going up north again, and
I don't know how much wider I can make. This I already made double wide and double long. If I go any wider, I don't know. It'll be nuts. It won't have anything holding it up in the middle. It has to slide all the way. So
yeah, it might bend too much and not slide right.
It's already double long, so I don't think quadruple long would be better. And I've lengthened the arm so it can actually grab the dude.
Yeah, unless you're using something for support or something different.
It's one of my favorite monsters right there.
Yeah, he's amazing. He's just beautiful. Just beautiful.
You could probably use some
I've
LEDs.
used him. I've used him in 2 collabs with Reed. Once in Green Bay, coming out of the ground in front of Batlord Summer Home. All the lava monsters were coming out to go through the portal to the ice bears because the lava guys were actually coming out from underneath the ground, out of the middle of the street, and they were going towards the portal to go destroy the ice bears. And he was there, and he was also at Chicago, obviously in the lava pyroclastic palace. He
Yep.
was going across the bridge, the lava bridge.
Yeah, I mean,
With all the guys.
we've had some good stuff. I mean, we've definitely had some great designs. I mean, it's one of those things where that's why. I mean, that's why it's those of us that are doing this together. It's those of us that have shown that we enjoy working together. If we didn't enjoy working together, this wouldn't work. So, and like Stud, hey, if you're a Chima fan too, you know, if you're going to Chicago, hey, want to bring something? Let us know. Hey, I mean, we'll always make room. I mean, it's not like we don't have room. I mean, we shrunk this last year, but I mean, the one, if you look at the one picture, that was the year before, and we did not shrink that year. This year was huge. This was the full size baby right here. Let's see, let's move him.
Make that a little bigger, Reed.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it only does corners. Let's see. Will I zoom? Oh,
Yeah.
It would be cool to figure out a way.
I can make my screen bigger. Yes, sorry.
There you go.
So Jordan had the orc base in the corner. He's the one that does a lot giant spaceships. So he loaned us the orc base. Michael used his army. Michael has I don't know if I can zoom these dang things. Michael had like a serpent bridge in the back there on the right side behind the orc castle going to Paradise Island. The
pyroclastic. That was cool. They were going across. A literal sea serpent was helping them get across.
Yeah. Right. And so,
hey guys, I'm going to mute you for a minute. There's something going on my end I need to go take care of, and I'll be right back.
That's fine. Well, we'll leave it up here for a little bit. We'll describe it and whatever. So, yep. So, Pyroclastic Castle was great. Let's see if I show this. Will it get rid of the names? Yeah, kind of. Okay. So, the Pyroclastic Castle was chops up front. You can't really see the Kraken's right behind the castle, and that was Jefferson's. He didn't come to the show, but he sent that, and I put UV parts underneath the arms. Hope Castle was in the back here. I had an iceberg bridge in the back, so yeah, it's still pretty cool. The water is all brick built water. I actually, you know what? I wonder if I can. Oh, let me see.
Yeah, it looked really good. We have closer up pictures of it too.
I'm looking right now. I'm looking to see what I got here.
Don't ask me where. I don't have anything.
No, I know. I'm looking for.
I forgot. I always forget to take pictures.
I forgot one year. I forgot one year. It was not pretty. I can't believe I did forget to do it, but I did.
I'm really bad at. Like, I don't have any footage from Nashville of my layout. The only person who does is Haley, and she hasn't released it. So I don't even know what it looked like. I can't even remember what it was. I wish I could see it, my own layout.
God, where are all my pictures? The pictures scattered all over, but I don't have the right ones in the right places. That's the problem. What's funny is I actually think I always used to do it. I had it right at one point. And some pictures. Pendragon Fortress was not there.
I'm trying to figure out what I'm supposed to do for like my will, because Indigo won't know what to do with the Lego.
She'll keep it herself.
No, well, I told her to sell it, but I don't want her to get ripped off.
You have to tell her to reach out to Pops or somebody.
Yeah.
That's what you do.
Yeah. Oh, okay. No. How is this all smashed?
It's not that. What is it? Documents.
Documentoids. Release. Documents.
That's not it. Well, I have an OBS here, so the question is where is that picture?
I have to finish that thing I just showed you before I can start Spindlin's part, which is what bothers me. Will all of your Lego to me, and then you won't have to work. Okay, Jeff. Wait, but I was worried. I just didn't know if my life insurance would be enough for Indigo, so I need.
Okay, that's one picture. That's not the one I'm looking for.
So if you got spikes, wait, why is these like that with this? Oh my god!
Okay,
I wonder how this got like this.
We'll do this. So
This is so weird.
okay, so if we do this, so it should let me zoom. There we go. There's the orc base. And actually, before this show, Jordan had actually redid his orc base. He built it up onto a mill's plate. It wasn't built there, so he redid it. Here's the serpent bridge back in the back here. So you can see one serpent head over here, one serpent head here. You got the loops. You got the bridge. He's got his orcs coming across. Paradise Island was okay. Actually, if you look at it carefully, this element here and this element here are now parts of Pendragon Fortress. There was a seismic plate shift, and they slid closer together and became a castle. Here's the lava bridge and Chop's pyroclastic castle. You can see the arms for the Kraken and the heads. He's got heads on each arm.
Oh yeah.
We do have Mr. Hinkle. He's gonna be hard to see here, but we do have Hinkle in a mermaid suit. Kraken's back there. You can see the iceberg bridge is in the back. Hope Castle, and we made sure since we have UV lights up in the top there, we made sure that we had lots of things that glue in the dark, or UV reactive. So I had the wands, I had lightsaber blades. The water did glow a little bit. This water is all built, like I said, so it
did.
Some of the tiles were UV reactive and stuff. So and this is all built. All the water is still built. I have to decide how much I'm going to take apart for the next tile. I think I took apart one blue tile, and then the one tile that the Kraken is sitting on I was using for the current.
It was definitely better. You had to see that in person. So if you missed this in person, too bad.
Yeah, look for the World of Lights pictures, because the World of Lights would probably definitely have that. And then Ralph is back.
Nikki has some really good. Nikki Malone has some really good pictures on her Facebook and probably Instagram of it. You just have to go through all the Chicago pictures to find it, but she took some really good pictures of our layout.
Yeah, so this is the Orc, Serpent Bridge, Paradise Island, which, like I said, two of the pieces are now part of the castle I built. Iceberg Bridge. The Kraken is right behind. Oh, actually, you can see the Kraken a little bit. He's right here. The head of the Kraken is right here through his castle.
Yeah, there's other pictures. I could, if I went to Nikki's Facebook, I can find a bunch to show.
And then the castle. Yep, so it was good. Obviously we had mills, we had a little bit of everything. It was all. Obviously, we can always make it better flowing between, but obviously, it's like you said, it just takes time. So, yeah, the MOCs always look better in person, and obviously, like I said, in the dark when it was World of Lights, it looked even really cool because we actually had that, had the ability to
like that layout was. I didn't necessarily like that layout as far as being able to be next to it during public days, but I think that layout was cooler than our layout last year. Like that was impressive. This was an impressive.
Yeah. Well, and I think this last year we didn't have enough. Well, Michael did his own thing last year, so Michael had his castle. We didn't use Jefferson's. Jordan, we didn't need his base because it was just you and I, and we cut our space in half. So that display was double the size of what we had in Chicago. So this display was half the size of that one. Even though it looks huge, this had half the table space as the year before. So, I mean,
Yeah, it wasn't as deep. Well, like I still couldn't even be behind it because I had 2 feet to pace back and forth, and I was trapped back there.
Benny, the interactive Benny was right there, and then
And that Jurassic World guy, and then behind that, WISLUG was planning something, or KLUG, or some lug was planning something, and I couldn't move back there. I had no space to move. I started freaking out.
yeah, it's one of those things where this next year I'll have to ask how they'll set us up. So,
Like, how can you have no space behind your mock at all for you? Like, we had no room.
yeah, well, I mean, I think the problem was we had both entrances right there. If we wouldn't have had both entrances right there, we had been the other end. We'd have been fine because we've been sitting behind the mock. Nobody would have disturbed us. We'd have been great. We just need to say that maybe this year, maybe they could put us where. Because the year before we were fine, even though we had that tarp on it, we didn't have to leave that up. I actually could have taken that down or whatever, and that's kind of one of those things where you can do whatever. You can just tell me whatever you want. I mean, in the end, I think we moved it. I thought we pulled the tarp a little bit anyways and sat in front of the back canopy. I think a little bit. I mean, I think it might have put it on for World of Lights, but I mean, it might have been. I mean, you can always say, "Hey, let's take this off," and it doesn't matter to me. Or even
that one was so deep. If you're behind it, yeah, there was space behind it in between the tables, but you couldn't actually like talk to anyone. You had to stand over the sides of it.
Yeah, I stood on the side and talked to people. Yeah,
like when I was talking to the kids about the kids who were into Nexo nights. Like I had to be in between the stanchions and the mock to talk to the kids and stuff. So I was like, I can't be pinned in between here, standing in front of the actual display, talking to people.
Just waiting. If we do what we want to do for this next year, it's going to be even lower. So the first table will be down low. Means you can probably we'll have to just bring some nice pillows and a blanket. You can sit down there and talk to the kids as they come down. We'll have to provide some blankets out front so the kids can kneel down and be like, "Hey, talk to the legendary butt chop. He's going to tell you all about all this stuff. He'll tell you about how this cavern is
talk to the unknown butt shop. No, there's
the infamous.
At least the year with the Pyroclastic Palace, though, at least I could go over by Nick and the boys in the AFOL Zoo and sit there. Like just a few feet away.
Yeah, I mean,
like last year, we were way in the back corner, and I had nowhere to go. Once I got back there, I started having like a panic attack, just getting back there. And then once I got back there, I'm like, okay, I got through everybody to get here, and now I'm super trapped in 2 feet of space. I'm active. I can't have 2 feet of. You can't put me in 2 feet of area.
Well, Ralph, that means we don't bring the handcuffs. We don't we don't handcuff him to his chair and anything like that. We don't make that.
So note to self: if you see a wild-eyed butt chop, get out of the way.
Well, yeah, I just need a little bit of room.
He's been spooked. He's going to run over kids and stuff, trying to get away from wherever he's at.
Hey, I know how to deal with that. I've been trained. I work in a public school.
We just need
bring
stronger,
a trank gun. Bring a trank gun.
We just need stronger poles on the edge of the canopy, and we'll just build a hammock for him, and it'll just that way.
There you go.
You would laugh though. I do have a tent that would actually go off the back of the canopy, which is quite humorous. But we never had enough space to ever try that.
That would be funny to have like a living area back there.
It'd just be like, where are the guys for this mock? Oh, I think they're back there. I think they're in the back there.
Just
follow the snoring sound.
Yeah.
Follow the sound.
Well, I was mad because for WISLUG, we had like no room, and over at by KLUG, because they have people in wheelchairs and handicapped people, they have this huge space in between. They're in the middle of their displays. I'm like, so WISLUG is like sardines, and then they're instead of planning it over by KLUG where they have like acres of space because they have handicap room, they're planning it over by us where there's no room. I'm like, guys, I don't take it over there, dude. Because I went over there and I'm like, wow, there's miles of room. You guys have like open fields in here. Oh yeah, because we have handicapped. So I'm handicapped, and I'm over there. They're all over there planning a stupid thing, and they were getting mad because I was bothering them. You know why I was bothering them? Because could not move because you had 16 people standing around a table with pieces of paper, putting the pieces of paper on the table. How they were
when they
going
were
to
playing the
put up.
moon base. Yeah. Should have said something. Yeah.
You plan your layout somewhere else, bros, or I'm going to bother you.
They
I was
could
about
have
to
gone to
take
Caleb. You're right, because half those people were Caleb too. They could have. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, go over. You guys have, but you told someone told me WISLUG that wouldn't want to have to go over there to do it. I'm like, oh wow, poor WISLUG. They can't be bothered to go over to the where there's actually room. I'm like, yeah.
Well, I mean, in the end, as busy as that show's getting, I mean, the spaces in between stuff is probably going to get a lot smaller. So,
There was
unfortunately,
too many people there. Yeah.
well, we had too much activity near ours. I mean, they should have made the entrances kind of kitty corners, so you had activity on one and the other, and that way you're at least in between. You've got more space. So we would have had like a corner where you could have kind of sat and been fine, and not been not felt like you're going to get run over by either side. So yeah, I mean hopefully that's something we can as we plan for next year we can kind of say like that.
Well,
We
once
can
we get something, WISLUG members, they'll understand.
we just got to figure out how much space we need, and then we'll know if we're going to have the big table layout or what we had last year. I mean, to me, I think almost like what we had last year is almost enough. You going for a smoke? We'll be here. We'll be here. Because in the end, I think that one for last year was still 90.
That was too many people in Chicago. Too many registered people.
This was 95 inches from side to side. 90, because it was still a good size. It was still because the castle is 20. I hate this. Castle's 20. Stage is 20. Yeah. Well, we didn't. I don't think we used it all. I think, or did he not use it all? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 55, 60, 70. We might have been at 80, but could have had 95. We might have been right at 95 because I can't believe I wouldn't have put any of the walls unless I just, I need 40 for the walls. But I want to make a new castle for this year, so I don't want to have that much space anymore. I think I want to max myself at 20. And I don't think the dance floor is going to make it this year, even though I thought it was really cool last year. I don't think we get to bring it this year. So puzzle, origami builders unit. OBU. So yeah. Who is still? We need a chat check. It's like a hand check, but I don't really care what your hands are doing because you're probably sorting or you're building, and I don't need to know either or. But it's a chat check.
You don't want too much information about the hand.
Yeah, we don't. Because you can't see my hands either. So, I mean, you don't know. Marco, yeah. Well, someone will say Polo because there's someone in here. Other than just you, Jude. I know you're here. Stud's here. Jeff is probably here. Who else is probably here? Who's been in the chat for a while? Brett might be still here. Oh, Buttchop still might be in the chat, even though he's in the stream. Oh, wow, there hasn't been anybody else in a while. Well, Mark might still be here too.
Yeah, I don't know if he's working tonight or what.
Oh, okay. So, well, it dropped to 8. It was 9, but I mean, I guess too. I mean, people can probably watch and not type in chat. I'm guessing it's something where. I mean, I don't know if you absolutely need to. We could have some phantom watchers that don't want to reveal their secret identities. They could be.
I think we call those people lurkers.
What were they building out of paper? Oh no! They were planning. WISLUG has done a collab every year the last couple of years. So basically, they were laying out the collab. So I got like 3 sections. Each person's got so much layout, and they're just putting it to see where everybody was at based on who had track and whatnot. So it's in the end, it was just kind of had a table and we just had sheets of paper with our name on it, and they were planning it. So I mean, I have somewhere. So yeah, so it's so Mark is sorting. So but yeah, so it's one of those things where we just were planning and just happened to be in a very tight area when they were doing that. So but yeah, I'm part of that collab. I'm part of this collab. I have to decide if I'm going to have enough parts to do, even though I want to, the D&D collab that Jesse and those guys are organizing. I use so much parts. I need to see what I have. I mean, that's kind of the thing is once I need to get some of these boxes of built sets out of the way or box of sealed sets out of the way. So I have room, my build table is more usable. I mean, I've got a Munchkin board on one corner. I've got the mock build for us, another section. I got bins of bricks on another section, 4 U-Haul boxes on one corner, and then of course I have the Pendragon Fortress and the dance floor kind of sitting somewhere too. So that's why I made a bad origami joke. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Just little flat pieces of paper with our names, just kind of playing, almost like a puzzle. Like, oh, is this gonna work? Who's gonna be near who? So you'll see it if you go to Chicago. You'll see it. It'll be a big one. It's gonna be 60. Well, I mean, I want to. We'll see. I mean, it all comes down to parts too. I mean, I'll have lots of probably colored 2x4s and stuff. My gray is going to be it's going to be slim pickings here at the rate I'm going because I still asked for a fair amount of, I'm still thinking of doing a fair amount. Now, granted, once I get above the gray into the snow, then it won't matter because then it'll be all white up top. So I should have some. I'm guessing the castle is going to have to come apart. I was thinking I was going to have it for the train show, but I think I'm going to tear it apart. Dance floor, castle, memorial tower, and those bunkers that Ralph was building for his Crocs. I built some for my ice bears in the snow.
What?
Yeah, those the Palisade bunkers, Palisade stuff that you built. I just got to put snow over the top of mine. Remember you had them at Omaha, so I built some with on snow mills plates with the brown Palisades and all that stuff.
I don't know what they were putting pieces of paper with words down. Oh, different space themes were on the pieces of paper.
It was for the collab for next year. Yep.
And then I was just like, you guys, I kept on bothering them, and then they were like getting.
I think they just wanted to get it done
by me. And I'm like, well, you're gonna get you're right in my personal space, so prepare to be annoyed because I'm gonna make you planning your collab is gonna be super hard if I have to be here for it.
So Ralph, we need to be prepared with rope and a gag.
No, because you don't do anything. Reed, you don't have to worry about it because you don't do anything to me. You don't come in my personal space and invite 20 friends over in my personal space to.
Okay, I take that back. We just give him a Nerf gun with about 60 rounds in it that is on auto fire, and then he'll scare everybody out of his space. Got it.
Just
Denmark, you should be over at Mayo's sorting stream.
Oh, Mayo's. Oh, I saw it earlier. How long does that go? How long does he do a sorting stream for?
Who knows?
Until the sorting is done, which will never be.
Oh my God, that's never done.
Definitely.
That's why
I was watching Brick Adjuster before.
Yeah, I'll probably go to charity for a little bit and listen to them a little bit when this is done. We'll probably try and go 4 hours, then kind of 4 is about our line to get to each week. If there's no D&D, so let's hear it. I get it, Chop. I don't even let loved ones into my personal. Wow. How about your pets? Your pets get to go in your personal space, or you just push them off the couch? Usually at work, just home.
Push them off the couch.
I don't know. I mean, yours are kind of heavy. They might hit themselves or hurt the floor when they hit the floor.
Mine have teeth, and they know when they feel like they need to express themselves with those teeth.
Oh. So if you try to push, they'll just kind of chomp, is what you're saying.
They start snarling and start showing off their pearly whites. Sage is very good about showing her opinion when it's necessary.
I take it neither one is like camped out at your feet tonight while you're.
No, it's bedtime. They've gone to bed.
They've gone down and joined the other person in the household, and
No, the other person in the household's gone to bed too. So,
They don't. You know what? Not everybody sleeps in the same room. They have to sleep in on their own couch and.
They have blankets on the floor, or they can have the couch, and it appears that the blankets won today.
Oh wow!
But I learned a long time ago, when you have dogs, have leather couches. They're much easier to clean.
Well, we actually had just a cloth couch for when we had our Irish setter.
Yeah,
we had a white cover for it, so it would turn red with the red hair. But you did not sit on that couch. I mean, people went to sit like, no, you don't want to sit there. That's the dog's couch, and you will not want to see yourself when you get off that couch. So no, that's the dog's couch. Get away from that.
They have their own couch, but they don't really use it as that purpose.
Yeah.
Golden retrievers like to be near their people, so.
Yeah, we haven't had any animals in a while. We had a couple cats, dog.
You don't have, so I'm assuming you don't have D&D.
No, we have no D&D this week. No. Jesse's doing in person. We wouldn't be able to. Larry's out doing freaking DoorDash still.
Yeah, and he's not delivering anything to me, so I'm not happy about that.
Pies, but he didn't bring us any. And, Kevin asked for blizzards earlier, and he didn't deliver those.
Who's Black Tie Day?
Huh?
Who's Black Tie Day?
Oh, that's Mr. Wagner. He was here earlier, and he had to put his kids to bed. He said he might be back. I'm guessing it's probably, at the rate we're going, probably a null. He'll be the only one left in the stream after it ends. He'll be the only one in the backstage. So.
I heard there's a special button we can push for that.
Special button for what?
To kick everybody out at once.
Really? I think it's called End Stream.
Yeah, I think that's the one.
It's kind of interesting because only a few people have ever really used that at the wrong time.
There's a right time.
They're starting to learn that they don't want to hit that button. Not a good button to hit if it's not that time. Unless they've made a donation to the Reed Lego Fund, and then they can hit it anywhere they want.
Then they get excused depending on how much money they've donated.
Yeah, how much has gone into the Reed, the Reed Elsa's Castle Fund. Yes. Need to get that one of these days. I could just buy it used, I guess. You only need one Elsa. Any more?
It's too many.
Let it go.
I don't need any Elsa.
Well, she gets jealous of the Ice Bear Castle, so I figured she needs something.
They can eat her.
The crocodiles, the crocs can come by and pay her visit.
Ooh.
We'll fix her problem.
So, in other words, we'll have an Else kebab at Chicago.
Yeah, have her like being roasted. Yeah.
Yeah, possibly.
Else kebab. Yeah.
I know
we've got lots of her guarding soldiers as icicles in her castle, being chilled for the next celebration.
Yeah,
I think so. I think we can arrange that.
I did kind of like that castle, though. I was thinking that would be kind of a neat one to build and just have somewhere. Maybe customize it a little bit. Maybe add some support for future collabs. So we're down to 6 people watching.
I have to get this thing built. I have to.
Well, if you need any more of those greats,
I don't think.
Remember, I've got a bunch.
I think I found 2.
Somebody forgot to tell me I was supposed to bring those, so I didn't bring them. So.
I found 2 that have the actual studs on the center. I might use those for the back, then I'll have enough just to make it a little bit longer. I don't want to make it any wider, so that'll be okay.
That's fine.
That's what I'll do. That's what I'll do. Then.
They're still watching. Yeah, somebody is still watching. Yes, they are still watching. Yes. which is good because I mean I don't really want to fall asleep on stream because then
It's good to have boundaries.
Well, actually, yeah, because nobody's in here that actually probably has the ability to end stream. So if I fell asleep now without Jesse or Larry or TJ here, I would be in trouble. Yes.
Yeah, but I've already, when you fell asleep and I was in here, then I just take over the stream while you sleep. I just start talking and do it. It just turns into a butt chop stream.
Endless stream.
I've done that before, where I just keep going and it's just a butt chop stream while Reed sleeps.
See, that's okay.
I've done that on the 72-hour stream a couple times where, I mean, where Ken and I were doing that one year. Oh my God. Yeah. 7-8 hours. That's brutal. I mean, I can't do it on a Friday because that's just, I'm tired today. And I even slept in today because they're like, I had like 4 stops. So you're like, I get to sleep in today. So I had, 2, I had 2 on like the east side of Mass, and I had to go back out to Dodgeville. So, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad.
I woke up at like 6:30 tonight.
Get it? Let's see. One nephew needs boundaries to get. The sister isn't disciplining at all. I'm teaching them boundaries. Yeah, they do. I mean, that's kind of a key thing because you don't know when that boundary gets crossed for the wrong person gets kind of crazy. Yeah, it might be.
Yeah, unfortunately, today's kids, that's a big problem. Parents don't teach them boundaries. Among other things, they don't teach them.
I would say some of those women at the bowling center the other night probably didn't know boundaries very well as they were getting pretty freaking close to the.
That's why they say destroy. They say if all humans were destroyed, this planet would be so much better.
Yeah, we should get around to that, butt chop.
The animals would do that. Did I just hear like a dog?
The animals would take care of the earth. They live in symbiosis with the earth. We don't.
I did have a friend that I knew in Colorado that had one of his siblings had kids in the Midwest, and that brother hadn't taught his kids how to go to the bathroom until beyond age 5. They were wearing diapers and stuff, in the 5 and beyond. And I'm like, oh my God, that's just crazy. That's insane.
That's just nuts.
Yeah, you get big kids like that. That is nothing. I'd stay longer if I was a super mod. Just popped in the mail stream and said I'd stay longer if I was. Well, I mean that, or if you have something enough to sort. So she just lets her kids do whatever.
Popped into the mail stream and said I'd stay longer if I was a super mod. That's awesome.
I made you a super mod right as you left.
What did they say?
So that's
awesome. I'd be interested to see what Mayo said about the super mining you did here. That's hilarious. Thank you for going and trolling Mayo. He deserves it. He loves it.
He loves being trolled. Hey, we like it too. If it's a castle guy, you can troll us all you want. If you're a space guy,
I think he just likes the attention, whether it's good or bad. I don't think he likes being trolled. But to have Dude come in and mess with him, he's not going to.
Oh yeah, no.
That's funny. He's not actually being trolled.
No, that's why when I was in Mark's stream and I was trolling, it was kind of like, oh yeah, I know why this is happening. Yep, yeah. Fight fire with fire, hey, that's kind of how it goes. I said nothing about it, so he's probably still listening. So he might not have seen it, Mayo. If he's sorting, he's concentrating too hard. You might have to say it again. He might not have seen it the first time.
He says, I'm just checking out the chat right now.
Depends on if depends on if anybody's watching the chat other than himself, if he's got somebody else in there.
I don't have the audio on, so I don't know if I can't hear anything, but I can see in the chat where Jude said I'd stay longer if I was a super mod. Bye.
Well, I'm guessing Jude's listening. He's listening there and he's listening here. He's got one ear on that stream and one ear on this stream.
I don't know. He might have actually physically left. He has not said anything about it. Oh, okay. He is listening. Well, that's too bad. I'm not even a mod on this, dude, Jude, and I know Reed IRL, bro, and I'm not a mod on Friday Night Bricks. I was on Hope Castle, but I might not even be on Hope Castle channel either anymore.
It's here anymore. Let's go back and look.
That's okay. I don't need to be a mod anywhere.
Well, I mean, we didn't have enough at one point. I don't remember who I made mods at one point. I can't remember because I know
I think Titanium J is a mod on here. Probably Larry, which is useless. Yeah, Larry's a mod, which is useless because Larry can't actually do any moderating. So to have him as a mod is like the most pointless thing ever.
So
Yeah,
let's
Larry
start
is a mod. All right.
Well, demote Larry.
You should. He doesn't know how to moderate, so I don't know why you would mod him. Like that's.
Yeah, I don't remember. He's probably because he's got one.
I'm a professional mod. I've been moderating live streams since like 2015. So, and then you got Larry, who's like, I don't know how to send an email. I'll be your moderator. Like, okay. I remember the Great Depression. I'm not saying he's old. He's just like feeble.
Well, that maybe I don't know. I refuse to comment because he's a co-host. And I don't want to get myself in trouble.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I love him too, but it's just if you can't moderate, don't be a moderator, bro.
Who knows? At the rate I'm sliding in my chair, I might fall asleep and be under the table.
You do look like you're actually getting shorter.
You're getting sleepy.
Well, end the stream then. These people can go.
He's slowly sinking into the chair.
Into the chair abyss. We could. Anybody mind if we end the live portion of Friday Night Bricks?
Well, I'm going to need to go soon, anyways, because my
I was going to say, I'll go over and watch
before long.
I'll go watch.
I'm going to go back to bed too. The best thing for depression is to sleep. So,
well, dreaming is great.
Things can't get worse when you're sleeping. At least you don't
dream. You can dream about Spinner's Cavern.
I do need to get to work on that actually.
Well, we'll go ahead and end the stream.
I need something to like spark my creativeness for Spinland's Cavern because I used to have it and it's been so many years since I wanted to do it that I've lost that loving feeling.
It'll come back to you.
Yeah.